All right, so we're gonna try with that volume level at the stream, and welcome aboard, everybody. We're just gonna go right into this game.
We are so.
Now, we're gonna try not to be super loud on this because again, we're in a room.
So we had an interesting scenario where, due to the fact that, as I'm sure everybody knows at this point, that because we don't have the best hardware, we're unable to stream at the capacity that we'd like to. Mm-hmm. So we come down to our local library and we take advantage of the services that they have there.
We also don't have internet at our place,
and that
so bad.
Like I said, hardware.
Is internet hardware?
I mean, the modem in order to access to buy the service and sometimes the install, like we literally don't have the literal hardware and like
All right, so we're gonna go ahead and get started, guys, and see what this looks like.
Yes, absolutely. So thank you so much for joining us, and yes,
here we go. So Mating in the Flesh is a monster dating game. Here we go. Here's all the ones.
So this game features text descriptions and non-explicit visual descriptions of blood, torture, vor/cannibalism, sex, and hand-holding. Also blood and gore.
Yeah, say blood/gore.
Oh, I apologize. By continuing, you agree to do so at your own risk.
So this is us continuing at our own risk, and this should be good. Like I think this could be fun. So we're gonna forward on in. Those are the warnings for you as well. So shall I take the lead on this one? You had the last lead.
Sure.
Okay.
Why not?
Let's see. After years of waking up at the same time every day, I've grown far too accustomed to it. I'm awake even before my alarm beetle goes off. Oh dear. The air outside must still be cold from the rain last night. The room feels a little chilly, and there's the strong compulsion to stay curled up in my blanket. My bed is enticingly warm, after all. So I decide to remain still until it's absolutely necessary for me to rise. Keeping my eyes closed, I consider what to wear today. The weather today is supposed to be cloudy. Wearing an extra cloak might not be a bad idea. Just one of the lighter ones. I am intrigued. Oh god, the alarm beetle.
Oh!
I love that.
That's so good.
The alarm beetle starts chirping, and I lay a hand on it even before its first trill is over, gently silencing it. I like that we are gentle. There's no abuse in this game. Just gently, good beetle. It's okay.
It's fine.
I crack my eyes open to squint at the light, gently filtering into my room. Filtering through the flesh. I don't know. I'm just guessing.
Maybe.
The walls looked a little bubbly, so here we go.
It's true.
Get up or one more minute. Oh, those are choices. Those are choices. Let's do one more minute. I
want
it.
One more minute?
I want it. Yep, one more minute.
One more minute.
I'll keep my eyes closed for just one more minute. I exhale slowly and count to 60. The comfortable haze of sleep threatens to creep back over me, but I ward it off with some effort. 58, 59, 60. Wake up. I think at this point we can wake up.
Okay, our character sounds rather reasonable.
They do. They seem very, very thoughtful in their approach, so I think we're gonna go with that. I better get up. Hi. My name is Phil.
Oh.
All right, I'm Phil. Nice. All right. Let's get going. And I do self-talk in the morning. This is good. Look at the alarm beetle. It's there. It's like
so
a horned
cute.
beetle. I crawl out of bed and begin my usual morning routine. It's become such a deeply ingrained habit that I hardly need to think about what I'm doing. I splash my face with water first and wipe off any pus that's accumulated overnight. Yeah, we are in a dark space, but like, they sound comfy, so that's cool. I love how a blanket is this stitched together thing that may or may not be flesh.
Right.
Toweling my face off, I return to open the windows and air out the place. The atmosphere outside is crisp from last night's rain. The ground still a little moist, and there's a pleasant miasma that stings at the nose. Bless you. Many blessings to you. Oh, hey! Palm is here.
Hey,
Greeting, Magic Pumpkin. Welcome back. We are playing
Meeting in the Flesh.
So you might like this one. It's a monster dating game.
And
like specifically a horror monster dating game that we're going to try.
Hello.
Also, welcome H. Ravenloft. Good to have you again.
Yes.
So this one may be a little bit softer than the last one. We're gonna sort of try and pick up the tone as we go along.
Yes. And again, so we'll reiterate. There is supposed to be elements of basically blood and gore and body horror and vor and
but it's not. It doesn't have mature content turned on, so we'll see how that goes.
Yeah, we don't know what it actually looks like. This is the first time, like, we did a very, very brief skim into this to see what this would look like.
Greetings, Ashby.
Hello!
Yes!
This ought to be fascinating.
Yes. Palm, we were thinking of you when we chose this.
Oh,
all right.
Hi guys!
Poking my head out the window, I take a few deep breaths to chase off the last tendrils of sleep before withdrawing back inside and making my bed. We are tidy and organized.
Oh, also for all of you guys, by the way, if there is any difficulty with the sound, such as the music or whatever,
or
our voices,
our volume, please let us know.
Yeah, because we can't tell based on our little studies or tests that we've done. It seems
We're quite
to be,
limited. It sounded okay to us.
Yes.
At any rate, I find my way to my table to retrieve my usual breakfast: a block of salt and a cup of water. Some people go without eating in the morning, or only drink water, but I've found it hard to last the morning without some salt. The crystals crunch between my teeth. I want to say many teeth, like I want to embellish already, but I don't know what we look like.
Right.
As I look for a cloak of appropriate thickness.
I mean, I think you could imagine as many teeth as you wanted.
I have many eyes and many teeth. I am legion. I am beautiful.
Of course.
The cloak I'm looking for turns out to be abandoned in a corner. Damn, thought I was more organized. I love how you can't even open the dresser drawer because there's just goo over it.
Right, we can also do this though, so you can see the actual background.
Okay, that's fun. Look at that. I love how the walls are just sort of bubbling and growing over the pictures. It's a little wild.
It's a little fleshy.
But it also makes sense to like have our cloak tossed in a corner if like our dresser has been consumed.
Oh, right.
I still love our beetle though. All right. And I swallow my mouthful of salt as I put it on. The salt burns down the full length of my throat, my long, beautiful throat, and I wash it down with water. That done, I smooth my hands down the front of my cloak to brush off any stray salt crystals, and to make sure there aren't any unsightly wrinkles. I want to look presentable.
Doesn't it?
Creepy. I want to live there. Yes, feel you.
Yes.
Mood. Even if I'm just a delivery agent, I still want to look good for my clients. I'm lovely. I'm gorgeous. My entire routine doesn't take more than 15 minutes. I've streamlined it well over the years. I glance outside as I close my window. The streets outside are still mostly quiet, with only a few people bustling about. The owner of the corner store is quietly sweeping the streets, the rhythmic scratch of brush bristles against the damp dirt echoing down the block. A few crows linger on a nearby roof, muttering to themselves. They seem a bit more excited than usual. Crow, crow. My room falls quiet when I close the window. I have aired it out for my good beetle, and now they will be fine all day. As I leave, I lock the door and jostle it 1, 2, 3 times to make sure it's secure. Then I head down the street. And the spacebar stopped working. So
okay, there it is.
Oh no! Do you want to take a look at the city real quick?
Ooh,
all right, we gotta hide the text.
Hide text.
Because we gotta see that. Oh my God! Look at this.
Oh, that's so good.
Everything is like bubbling and growing and gooing, and that's the building sort of like both growing and melting.
I love it.
I love it.
It looks fantabulous.
All right, here we go.
It's actually, you know what this reminds me of? Do you remember when we played that hidden object game where the whole world was warping?
It does. So we actually played a hidden object game quite a while ago, back almost 2 years ago on our channel.
Yeah.
And I cannot remember what it was called, but it had this sort of like very Geiger-esque creepy feel to it, with a lot of like abstract sort of
We're talking
like art style,
Dolly,
Salvador Dali. Like the reality didn't make sense, and it was fascinating.
Isn't it really pretty?
Thank you.
I really
yeah,
like it.
we like it. All right. The crowds below. The crows. Sorry, I can read. The crows bellow at me when I walk past them, and I glance up to give them a smile. They remember people's faces, so it's best to stay on their good side if possible. I love that. Accurate, real, genuine crows.
Yes.
Past them, the sky is a deeper green than it usually is. Also, visuals match the text. I squint and shield my eyes as I look up at the suns. That's right. I'd forgotten. The eclipse is 2 days away. Is in 2 days, sorry. There we go.
That's
all right.
super cool.
And there's 2 suns up in the sky. That's really cute.
Awesome.
The primary sun looms largest overhead, but its smaller brothers don't lag far behind. The 3 forming a lopsided triangle. Nice. The moon lingers lower down, closer to the horizon, like a pale paper cutout laid against the sky. Okay, so I'm just going to say that I love this so far. Like, the descriptions are really nice. There's a very chill feel to the whole thing. Like, they're like horror, but chill horror, you know? And going, you could totally live here. But also this experience of, this isn't the character going, let me tell you about our suns. They're just looking up at the sky and naturally going, oh, these things. It feels very organic to me. All right. It's normal for them to be scattered like this, but in 2 days, for just a few moments, they'll all align.
That's so good.
I love it. The 3 suns all overlapping at one point in the sky, blocked from our view by one of our 2 moons. That is a hella eclipse. That is an event.
That's super cool.
An absolute solar eclipse. Oh, it's Aggery.
Excited about the eclipse coming up.
You saw me sun gazing. I am caught.
Oh.
I give a slight jump when a voice chirrups from right behind me.
Oh, I suppose it'd be squeakier.
It's okay. Chirrup or gravelly or squeak, we are okay.
I'll do squeak.
I whirl around so quickly I almost end up entangled in my own cloak. Their cloak is lovely.
Oh, I didn't mean to scare you there.
Sorry about that.
No, it's all right. I was just thinking about things. The most things.
I had so many things.
One of my neighbors, Augury, from just down the block. She looks more jittery than usual, a string of saliva dribbling down from her mandibles, as she also casts her gaze up toward the sky.
Oh, it's so exciting, isn't it? Just 2 more days and it will be the eclipse.
Are you thinking of doing anything special on that day, sweetie?
Oh no, this is the dating premise, isn't it? It's find a date to go to the eclipse. I'm suddenly picturing this as like an anime, and it's getting a date to go to the eclipse.
I am a fan. It's gonna be
Alright.
great.
I smile and shake my head. No, I haven't thought about romance. I'm too busy working.
Uh-huh.
Nothing in particular. I'm just looking forward to seeing it.
Ooh.
Oh, that's all so fine, but you should really think hard just in case there is
Something special you want to do on that day?
Augury hitting on you. If there is something special,
You'd like
anything
to
you'd like to do with someone,
someone together.
anybody, a person. I'm here.
Individual.
Well, an absolute solar eclipse only occurs once every century or so. A rare event. I squint up at the sky.
You know what? That's honestly like a mood, because I remember when we had the eclipse,
Yeah.
and they were really talking about it, going like the kind of eclipse that we had really only comes around every so often.
Yeah, I remember 2 eclipses in my life, and that's it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, so far, just 2.
Mm-hmm.
All right. I squint up at the sky. And again, there's the different kinds of eclipses, too, which I never keep straight in my head.
Mhm.
But it is, I think, I don't even know if I've seen a solar eclipse versus a lunar eclipse. I think I've seen both, but I'm
I
not
think
sure.
we've seen both.
I think I've seen one of each.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Perhaps because of that, people view it as an auspicious phenomenon. It's said that if you make an important life decision or attempt something new on the day of an absolute solar eclipse, the results are more likely to be favorable.
Oh.
Like that. I've never believed in such superstitions, but I know most of the city is looking forward to the eclipse. A lot of people propose to loved ones, explore new areas, or change their jobs on eclipse day. As a result, I've heard it's considered something of a headache for the community organizers. Love that.
That's
Who need
great.
to deal with the chaos. Still, the excitement building in the air is almost palpable. I love this versus like a cherry blossom festival. It's very fun.
It is actually like quite a delight.
Uh-huh.
I think.
Regardless of my own beliefs, I don't see any reason to squelch anyone else's excitement. I look back to my neighbor.
My beautiful, lovely neighbor.
My lovely, soft, cuddly neighbor. The cloak looks very cuddly. I love it.
It does.
Yes, with food and anime.
I'm all in. You're right.
We love that, yes.
Uh-huh.
Do you have any plans for Eclipse Day, Augury?
Oh, I do.
She gives an excited chirp, clasping her hands together, making tittering noises. All right, that's cute.
I'm going to visit my dear friend across town. We had a rather bad fight years ago and haven't spoken since. But we agreed to meet on Eclipse Day to talk things out, and I'm sure we'll be able to rekindle our friendship.
I love that.
That's
That would be
adorable.
amazing. Honestly, though, in reference to streaming, like if we ever do get really popular and we ever can do giveaways, I want to do food giveaways.
Honestly, I
Because
want
food
to
is
as well.
amazing. Be
Yeah.
like, all right, we're not giving away games or iPads. We're giving away food, and we will all have food together.
Yes, like eat together.
Eat together, everybody food. We'd just be like, okay, we're ordering pizza for you now, you know, and you can just
Honestly,
eat on the stream. It'd be
That'd
good.
be really cool.
All right, her genuine excitement is heartwarming. I can't help smiling as I give a nod. That sounds wonderful. I hope it goes well.
Thank you, dear.
Uh-huh.
Oh, but I shouldn't keep you for too long.
Because you know my work schedule.
Uh-huh.
Yes.
You're on your way to work, aren't you?
What a polite friend. I love that.
I know, they're great.
I appreciate it when you don't have to disengage because you're on your way to somewhere and someone else recognizes that you were going somewhere.
Mhm.
It's very thoughtful.
Right.
I nod again. My beautiful long neck nodding. It's all right. I always head out early, and it was nice hearing about your plans.
Well, good luck on your work. And do think about something to do for Eclipse Day. would be such a shame to let the opportunity pass by you.
It would. I give her a small wave as I turn to leave, and she cheerily returns the gesture. Had a But once I turn the corner, I speed up into a light gallop. Despite what I told her, I hurry a little. I like getting places a little earlier than necessary. A creature after my own heart, to be honest.
Look, it's Valdemar in the background.
Oh my god, it kind of is.
Oh, I know.
I love it, but the arms are like so long.
I know.
It's great.
I didn't know.
Good morning, boss. The air in the salt processing plant stings at the nose, burning at the lungs a little with each breath, and I try not to inhale too deeply. Full-time workers here usually wear masks, unless they happen to have well-developed nasal filters. I love that distinction. Since I'm usually in and out of here quickly, I don't bother with masks.
Where's your mask?
The boss is pretty strict, though. I love your face. You suggest like flat-faced, like troll lizard. It's amazing.
Also, y'all, wear your mask. Go out in public.
Yeah.
Again,
in
one of the
environments that call for mask wearing, wear it.
Please, absolutely.
Right.
It will help people. It is excellent. Is it possible?
Will you do a face reveal? We have no idea. We aren't popular enough to consider such things. We are the faceless void. That is what we are. And then someday someone will realize that we're actually just one person instead of two.
Oh no.
Oh well, sorry, we can't let our secret out. It's all right, boss. I'll be out of here pretty quick.
No, wear your mask. You need to wait a few moments.
He thrusts a mask into my hands before I can stop him, then turns away to a nearby table piled high with packages.
I love it. It really is like, I don't care if you're here for 5 seconds. Put it on.
This is the PPE. Use it.
Yes.
Alright. I give a slightly exasperated sigh. How many times have we had this exact same exchange before? Although it's a good indicator of how much the boss cares for his workers, I guess. Oh, we get to choose.
Oh.
You know what? Since we're going to be defining our character here, and we're still, in the early stages of such things, I think we're just going to put on the mask.
Sure.
And to support people following the rules, wearing their PPE, personal protective equipment, and protecting others, mask.
And also, good mask time.
Excellent. Also, full nose and mouth coverage.
Looks great.
Might as well just put on the mask. Oh, there was a mask application sound. That is a nice touch.
That's real cute.
It's a little uncomfortable, especially when the filter brushes against the raw sections of my face. But it does immediately make breathing easier.
Okay, so for all y'all who missed it, when our character woke up in the morning, they did mention wiping the pus off their faces. So whatever part of
I wonder
their face
if we have damage or sickness, or if that's just a natural occurrence of us. Maybe we just have raw patches, and that might be a natural production thing, or we could actually be sick.
Yes.
At any rate, I like that they actually engage with why they don't want to wear the mask, and then but then do it anyway. So that's nice. So if you're ever trying to wear a mask and it's not working for you, consider an adaptive mask, one that suits your needs better.
Absolutely.
Still do it, but do it in a way that works better for you.
Yes. Damn.
As I adjust the mask strings, I take a cursory glance around the factory. It's a familiar sight, but its internal workings are always fascinating to watch.
Oh, speaking of, we actually didn't do this, so we're going to head and text real fast because we didn't actually do this.
You're right. Okay, so we have the stuff coming out of the chute down into the hopper, which looks like it's over some kind of a vat. Unfortunately, there's not a clear connection to it going anywhere after that. I would have loved it if it actually moved to another location from there, but that's because I've been in manufacturing so much. This isn't a bad description of a working environment, especially for a small manufacturing process, because sometimes things are done really manually, so it's entirely possible that they actually just get under there and slide something under there and drain it manually.
Yeah, and also at the same time too, maybe those things themselves, since there's multiple of them down here,
they just switch out the entire circle.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking.
Oh, they might just pop off the funnel and swap them out. I like that. And there's just a forklift somewhere that does it, or someone real strong. The strongest boy does it.
The strongest.
All right, here we go. Fascinating to watch, and it is. You know what? When I've worked in manufacturing, the delivery drivers will often just look around, their eyes humongous, going, "What's going on in here?" They are often fascinating.
Yes.
A chute at the far end of the room belches out spurts of salt crystals, spilling them into a huge vat. The steady hum of grinding and crunching sometimes seeps through the chute, like the sounds of many small bones being chewed up. I know that sound well. On the other side of that chute is the machine that processes the raw salt, breaking up any larger rocks into these smaller crystals. Love it. Cool. The ground-up salt needs to be processed further, though. I am getting a little bit of like an off vibe, though, because of just the strange resources.
I was like, read the next one. You'll
The
figure it out.
grinding process doesn't get rid of any insects, rocks, or hair clumps that might be present in the raw salt rocks. What if salt comes from a being? Like these titans?
Kind of what I
and we're
was
just
thinking.
cracking it
actually.
off them. Either that, or you just have things working over it that don't wear like hair nets, and they just sort of casually slough off their hair into it.
Right.
Workers carry huge buckets of this unprocessed salt to the smaller vats that dot the cavernous room. These vats are constantly stirred with long poles, pressing the salt crystals through filters, which carry any unwanted material.
That will catch.
Oh, thank you. That will catch any unwanted material. The filters quickly clog up with hair and insect wings. They need to be swapped out frequently. What is your job? I'm a filter swapper.
That's what I do.
One vat has a worker carefully adding an enormous bucket of flavor into it. The scent of honey comes wafting through the air, and I inhale deeply. Can you imagine honey-flavored salt? Like, imagine this is just like sea salt or like rock salt, and you've just got honey-flavored salt.
It's
sounds
salt
wild.
and sweet.
I know. It sounds wild.
Yeah,
I
it sounds
love
good though.
And then I'm like, what are like basil honey salts? That'd be tasty.
That could be fun.
The sweet slick of honey contrasts beautifully to a familiar crisp sting of salt. Honey salt must be delicious. Maybe I'll get to splurge on it someday. Oh, it is for the fancier people. But in order to do that, I need to work. I relate to someone who will not buy something for themselves because they are poor. That does make people.
It's true.
What's my quota look like today? My voice comes out a little muffled. Oh, sorry. Hold on. I have my actual mask here. What's my quota look like today? I can do this.
I support you.
I will just put on the mask.
Oh, I guess I should have one
You
too.
need
Actually,
one
hang
too.
on.
Hold
My
on.
mistake. Let me grab
Hold
mine
on
as
to
well.
do the boss. Get boss.
Little more than usual.
I step to the table to help the boss load packages into a cloth bundle. Each package is a block of salt wrapped tight in a piece of fabric. The fabric protects the salt from any moisture while it is in transit, and also catches any pieces that might crumble off. Most of the bundles are wrapped in cheap tan fabric. Those are packages of normal salt. But there are a few packages wrapped in red or yellow cloth, and even fewer wrapped in white cloth.
Oh dear.
The white ones are mercury, right? Whoa. The boss grunts in the affirmative. Mercury salt is such a rare treat that I don't deliver it often. This is the bougie food. We got it. This is your truffle oil. That looks like more honey and punishment salt than usual, too. Punishment salt?
People getting excited about the eclipse, treating themselves.
I see. Right. Of course. The boss counts the packages one last time. I love the sounds. Those are great, like the shuffling.
Like the crinklies
and shooting.
It's so good.
It's really nice. All right. One last time before tying the bundle shut and handing it over to me. There's the rustle of fabric and the crackle of loose salt crystals bumping into each other with each movement, the package weighing heavily in my arms. I tie the fabric tight over one shoulder so the bundle won't come loose or jostle around too much while I'm running. We are a real literal running carrier. That's great.
That's great.
And here's the route.
Because it's deliveries that are ordered rather than deliveries by subscription customers.
Right. Makes sense to me.
He hands me a scrap of paper with just a few notes jotted on it. I've long since memorized my route, and the paper only notes any exceptions. Who doesn't need salt today? It is like milk delivery and extra ordering. Who's getting special salt instead of the usual? Who's getting more packages than normal? Usually I don't even need this cheat sheet, but there are a lot of exceptions today. An exception has occurred.
Hi, just Monica.
It really does seem like everyone's changing things up in preparation for the eclipse. All the more reason to avoid making mistakes. I hate to deliver people the wrong salt and put a damper on the mood. Going, I wish to help people and be the best I can be.
I care about my job.
It is very cute.
Got it.
Pocketing the note, I give the bundle one last tug with my hand to make sure it's in place before turning toward the door. We are careful and thoughtful. I am enjoying this.
It's a real good character.
Right before I push the door open, I remember to take my mask and hand it back to the boss. He gives a snort as he takes it back, waving a hand to shoo me out and on my way. As the heavy door lumbers shut, is it a person? It lumbers shut?
Maybe.
Sometimes I will complain about those kinds of things because lumbering is a specific activity, but I could totally see the door being a creature.
That would be great.
I hear him call out gruffly,
Take care.
Will do. Hi.
That's adorable.
Just a tiny sliver of the plant's interior is visible past the closing door, and I give him a wave of the hand before turning back towards the street.
That's a great tale.
Great time. I'm just like, this is really cute.
It's kind of
I'm
sweet.
having a time. I'm waiting. I'm like, I'm not even waiting for it to get horrifying. I'm just like, no, I'm feeling this. This is fine. All right. Time to begin my route.
Yes.
All right, back to the city.
Okay.
I've been delivering salt for several years now. Though I was uncertain when an acquaintance first suggested the job to me, I've really warmed up to it since then. The workload is consistent and predictable. My boss is nice, if a little gruff, and the neighborhoods I deliver to are full of friendly people. Thole. Look,
It's Tool.
Oh, it's Tool. Sorry. Tool. Hello, Tool.
Hey, starting on your route for today.
Oh, dear. Yep. Have a good morning.
You too.
Not too loud, friend. Sorry. It's okay. Enthusiastic. Quiet enthusiasm.
Oh, we have a hind.
Oh, no. Look at that.
Hang on.
Okay, we have got to look at this. Hold on a second. Look at that.
We actually have more of a character. That's really
do.
interesting.
And anything could be going on above that, but that is kind of charming.
I kind of wondered if we were some sort of centaur or something like that,
Or something. Yeah.
I mean, this kind of looks like there's supposed to be hair, sort of implied
but you
to
have
be hair.
no idea
Yeah,
what
you really
it all
don't.
is or how long or what have you. That could be face or could be something else.
Right.
My hind claws dig a little into the ground, kicking up small clumps of dirt. With each step, I quickly fall into a comfortable galloping gait. As I take a hard left outside the salt processing plant and start heading down the street, huge slabs of buildings loom overhead on both sides. This block doesn't have many residents, as it's mostly factories. I pass by those quickly. No deliveries to make just yet. I would be all in for either a Tara form or more like a centipede/millipede form.
Right.
Where we have two arms up top, but we can run on all of them if we want to, but you keep those ones clean because those are your food handling hands.
Oh, that makes sense to me.
Mm-hmm. I could totally see that. But I do have one delivery to make at the corner up ahead. The building at the very end of the block is smaller. Its outer walls off-white instead of a murky beige.
Oh no, this sounds a lot. The music, you guys.
I
It sounds
know.
like the labyrinth.
Oh my god.
That's what I'm thinking of instantly. It's just
like
going
it's very
down.
80s feeling. It's like this feels like 80s sci-fi.
It kind of does.
It does. I love it.
It's super good.
All right, murky beige. It's not very tall either, but it does have an awesome structure sprouting from its top. A giant tower clawing up towards the sky, made of bone and coated with smooth flesh. An enormous pair of antennae protrude from the tip of its tower, their chitinous shells gleaming faintly in the sunlight. I appreciate organic architecture is what I'm hearing.
I do too.
They whip back and forth at random intervals, as if raking through the air. The numerous eyeballs at the antenna's back, base, are also blink frequently, their irises swiveling about to survey their surroundings. One of them whirls around to look me over when I approach, and I give it a small wave. Hello, building.
Hi.
Can you imagine this charming anime character just running by? Good morning, building.
Hi, building.
I love it.
Hello.
The front entrance to the building has a small sign carved into it. The sign reads Community Overlook Center. It is an overlook. It overlooks it. It's an overlook. Yes.
So good.
Brownie points for this game. I open the door and enter. Alright, maybe. Here we go.
Okay.
Oh, we get to go inside. Oh, wow. Oh, the blobs. The office interior is much cozier. I gotta look at this.
We gotta look at
the
it.
air clean and warm.
Alright, hidden text.
Alright, guys, look at the
Oh,
blob in the
wow.
corner. Blue, 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 blue.
Hello.
Hi, and then the dripping from the ceiling and just stop. This
So
is
good.
amazing.
That's so wild.
All right, well there we go. Here we go.
Alright,
Here we go.
so we have tap. Okay.
All right. There are a few desks littered with papers. Workers busily reading over their contents and filling out their forms. This place always looks busy when I come by. Never hectic though. Despite the steady bustle of productivity, things always seem in control. It is a balanced office space.
That's good.
Everyone here feels as if they're being taken care of rather than being agitated constantly.
Right.
Now that I know these workers.
Not
Not that I know these workers very well. I do wave to a vaguely familiar face, but head straight to the far corner where the tower control pod sits. The pod's nerves crawl up the walls like a giant spider web, thick cables of flesh burrowing into smooth rock surface. The pod itself is a giant oblong shape, coated in flesh and pulsing gently. This is literally in the flesh. That's where we live.
Yes.
The eyeballs embedded in its surface flicker about more languidly, a few of them fixing on me as I approach, though they close wetly after a few moments of staring. They probably don't want to get squished, when the pod opens.
Oh. Someone's inside.
There's the
Yes.
loud squelch of fluid, slick flesh. Well, that's a visual. When the it's whack. Oh,
There's
opens
some
in the center.
holes in this building. There's some holes
There's
in
some
this place. There's some
doors in this house. There's some doors in this. all right. When the pod splits open at the center, its two halves neatly sliding apart like a beetle's carapace. A wall of hot, damp air bursts outward as the pod opens. The interior of the pod is oozing with fluid, drips of it spilling out to dot the floor. A thick coating of it obscures the shape of the person sitting inside, until he sits up and stretches his arms. Fluid comes sloughing off in sheets. Is that how you pronounce that? Sloughing?
That's sloughing.
Okay. Spilling back into the pod's interior as he rises to his feet. Oh, this is like a totally fluid-filled experience, like sensory pod kind of thing. Like you're tapping into the nerves, I'll betcha.
Yeah, and he was
All right. That's amazing. All right. There's two wet plops of suction as he detaches the pod's nerve cables attached to his temples. That's amazing. Yiestol?
Yiestol.
Yiestol, thank you.
That's what I do.
Hi, Yiestol. Yiestol towers over me when he straightens up to his full height, tall.
Yes.
The bones of his feet clicking gracefully on the floor when he steps out of the pod. Oh, look at you. Hello,
Fascinating.
sir. The fingers, delicately, I just kind of love it. All right, let's see.
It's okay. I can do it.
Do you want to do it?
I keep doing
You've
it.
got him. Since I have a lot of dialogue, so.
Good morning, Bill.
I see. He always talks gently, his voice low. Well done. It's a little hard making out what he's saying if the office is ever really busy, but it does make him sound very reassuring because he smiles a little.
Especially when he smiles.
Oh, especially when he smiles. I love the face split. That's
It's so
amazing.
Diligent as ever, I see.
Yiestol leads the way to a nearby table. It's far enough from the pod that there isn't any danger of fluid splashback, which is good. Salt doesn't hold up well to anything wet, and I have a lot of salt to drop off here. My bundle's heavy from the day's worth of salt, and I'm looking forward to lightening it significantly. I start undoing the fabric knot to put the bundle down on the table. How are things looking today?
I know.
Yes, cute. I also
Very
love
cute.
the subtle background sounds. I'm just thrilled. But this does feel so much like the same kind of visual design as the Hidden Object game we played, which we'll need to link that when we post this next Saturday on YouTube, because it's in our channel, but it's really interesting. It was one of our first plays, and we were fascinated the whole time. How are things looking today? He gives a small sigh at that. Just a warm puff of air that escapes past his chitinous lips.
I haven't spotted any real troublemakers, but there's certainly a buzz in the air. There does seem to be a little crowd congregating just north of here, so I might have to send someone to check it out later. Hopefully, it's just a friendly gathering, so I can leave it be. I'd hate to have to get anyone in trouble just before the eclipse.
So he's doing like neighborhood surveillance.
Oh, okay.
Suggest action, nod sympathetically, agree with leniency. You know, I know very little about this character, so I'm gonna try nodding sympathetically, being like, I hear you, and I understand, and I recognize your experience.
Sure, so nod sympathetically.
I don't fully understand Yiestol's job. Yes, excellent. So all I can do is offer sympathy. Sounds complicated. It does sound like the situation could go either way. Hopefully it won't cause too much trouble for you, no matter the outcome.
Great.
I love the eye. The expressions are great. This is very fun.
Thanks, Phil. It should be alright. I'll just keep a few eyes on them for a while.
Yiestol's job seems busy at the best of times, and I can imagine it only grows more difficult during times of excitement, like around the eclipse. There aren't very many people who can handle the pressure of being the town's overlook, especially since the overlook pod is apparently a strain to operate. An athlete. This is an athlete.
Yes,
The
pretty
build
much.
of an athlete.
I see.
But Yiestol's been loved by everyone since he took the job. Highly attentive and quick to respond, he's been key in maintaining the town's peace because he's able to spot troublemakers so quickly and send officials to stop them before too much damage is done. I'd like to think, well, anyway, it's done a lot to discourage crime. I'd like to think they're showing up and basically finding out what people need and what their distress is, rather than controlling them, because that just sounds very nice.
It also
and,
is, because they're all freaking monsters. They can probably wreck you.
Yeah, there's a lot of, potentially, especially if they're all as diverse as this, there's much less in common, so there'd be a lot of going, I need to be more aware and sympathetic, because there isn't a common group think.
Right. It's okay. Friend, get in some water. Need the fluid. Rehydrate.
We have opinions on this person. That, on top of being an all-around nice guy, we are pitching him. We're like, excellent.
Yes.
The fabric finally comes undone, and I settle it on the table before digging through my pocket for the note. I like the writing style. This is very charming.
It is really cute.
Alright, it says here that you need 24 packets of salt today, correct?
Correct.
24 then. Pat. Yiestol doesn't eat the 24 packets of salt for himself, of course. As the community overlook, he's also in charge of keeping an eye out for people who are ill or injured or have fallen on hard times. Sometimes you could just be like, oh, that sounds like it lines up with what I was thinking, actually, of just going, there's something going on, let's find out what it is, and then delegate resources.
I love this person. This person seems wildly very kind.
I like
Yiestol.
And everyone going, I love the way you're solving this, because if he was using violence to solve things, everyone wouldn't be so excited, because this does sound super chill and supportive so far, which I love. Anyone who might have difficulty procuring their own salt. These 24 packets will be distributed to such people. So that is a little bit of more direct exposition as opposed to what we've been seeing, but I also wanted to say that sometimes my brain does that kind of thing, where I'll hand something to someone and my brain will go, they're not going to eat it all. It literally just goes through my head. This is a little more than usual, right? Is the eclipse causing any trouble? I lay out the salt packets in stacks of 4, making them easy to count.
In a sense.
Yiestol gives a slightly sheepish laugh.
It's not trouble, but I wanted to ensure that people aren't struggling for salt during a time as joyous as the eclipse. I'll be giving out a little extra to people who are having a hard time.
No one goes hungry on eclipse day.
Oh, that's so sweet.
Support it. My heart warms with admiration. That's really nice of you. I'm sure they'll really appreciate it. 6 stacks of 4, 24 packets of salt lay neatly on the table, and I make sure Yiestol's given me an approving nod before tying my bundle back over my shoulder. This is great customer service as well. I check in, we make sure everything can be clearly seen by both of us, and that you've approved your delivery before I set off.
Speaking of the eclipse, do you have any plans?
This is it. The eclipse night is date night. I love this.
It is date night.
Everyone is so excited about the eclipse. I shake my head. My whole entire mane ruffling. Not really. I might go out and watch it. I guess. That sounds like you've gotten nervous. I was super confident with my neighbor, and now I am nervous. Yiestol laughs gently. He has a raspy laugh. It contrasts to his lilting voice.
Oh, I see.
Deep and lilting, is it? Well,
Whoops, my mistake.
Thanks for telling us 10 lines later.
Dang it.
It's okay.
You sound awfully unimpressed by the eclipse.
There we go. We can adjust. We
can adjust. We can do it.
I guess I'm just pretty satisfied with where I am right now. I know the eclipse is supposed to be good luck if you're making any big decisions, but I don't have any decisions to make. I feel okay in my life right now. Honestly, I support them. Absolutely. I know nothing about you, Vil, but I support you.
Yes.
I shift the bundle on my shoulder, and it comes out like a shrug. Maybe if I try taking a different route on my delivery that day, I'll find a shortcut.
That would be nice. It would make your life a little easier, I suppose.
Do you have any plans? I say nervously to the boy I like, or that I at least admire and respect.
Right.
Yes. There's a pause. Yiestol looks thoughtful, a finger tapping his chin, before his lips curve in a smile.
I might. I'm still deciding.
Look at the side eye, like everything looks away, like I can't say it directly to you.
Right.
But you know.
Yiestol reaches out to touch my shoulder. One of my shoulders.
Yeah.
Despite the hard bones of his fingers, the gesture is soft and comforting, squeezing just briefly before giving a tender pat and then pulling away.
The eclipse is really a special time. Not just because of the eclipse itself, but because everyone was so excited and happy. I don't think it would be a bad idea to take advantage of that unique energy in the air.
Try something.
It's okay.
I give a small smile. All right. I'll give it some thought.
Hi.
Hi.
Hello.
I don't know if I'm overwhelmed from I admire you, or like there's a little bit of like tension, or just I like this person and therefore I am slightly shy. He still sees me off. He walks you out.
He does.
That is very cute. Is it all right for you to leave your pod for so long?
It's all right for a few minutes. Taking short breaks helps keep my mind clear.
It is important when working on focused tasks to take breaks.
It's very important, actually.
Don't work yourself too hard. Even if everyone's depending on you, you shouldn't run yourself ragged. But obviously, if he's been doing it this long, I would think he probably budgets himself pretty well.
He's probably good at it, yeah. Thanks. You too.
As I literally run myself.
Uh-huh.
I grin. I think he did that joke on purpose.
Yes.
Don't worry. You helped me a lot by taking so much salt off my hands. My root's always easier after I visited you.
Yeah.
He still rasps out a laugh.
Well, I'm glad I could be of help to you, though I should be the one thanking you for all your work all the time.
All right. I'll see you later, Yiestol. I can't take it anymore. I feel like we're at...
A marionette near Adrian? What is the marionette near Adrian?
I'm not sure about that one, actually. If you want to give a little bit more reference? Wait, do you know?
Marionette near Adrian, ladybug.
Oh, thank you. Yes, okay. That is from the Fantastic or Fabulous Ladybug?
Yeah, that one.
Yes, okay, you're right. Yes, we are a little bit like that. I know what you're talking about now, and yes, agreed.
I was like, hang on, I had to
I say
think about
so it's like the Fabulous Ladybug? I don't even know, but like, yes, I've watched the show a few times. I've definitely seen it. It's interesting.
It is interesting, to say the least.
It's towards I think it's towards a younger audience than I actually am anymore, but there's a lot of cute things about it. And I've seen some really adorable cosplay.
It's true.
All right. Yiestol waves as I start off at a light jog.
Oh, God.
I wave back. The overlook tower. Okay, we do have more limbs, unless we're waving while we're running on 3 legs.
Right.
That's kind of adorable. Anyway, I love the fact that we're a little bit unknown. Yes, Ladybug and Super Cat. Yes, thank you.
Yay.
The overlook tower is docile without him in the cockpit. The towering antenna and mounded flesh just barely quivering. It's strange to see it so calm, which says a lot about how much I've grown used to Yiestol's constant presence, keeping an eye on the city. He's a good guy. I hope he gets a day off sometime. He could probably use it. It only takes me a few paces to hit my stride, my posture lowering as I transition into my usual gallop. With that big delivery out of the way, the rest of the route is smaller deliveries. No problem. Now, here you go. Look at them.
Whoa.
I love that. Look at all the leggies and your antennas, back tucked behind you and draped around.
Wild.
Gurgery.
Gurgery.
Gurgery? That's Gurgery.
Gurgery.
Oh my god. It's Gurgery.
It's Gurgery.
Imagine Gurgery. I'm so sorry.
I'm like, and now I'm afraid going, what are you going to change the voice to?
I don't know what they're going to say. Shall I do one?
Thanks.
I-
Quick as ever. Unto you.
Just trying to be on time. Have a nice day.
You too will.
Most deliveries go quickly. Just 1 or 2 salt packets to drop off, along with a brief greeting. For people who aren't at home, I have to drop their salt in their usual delivery box, out in front of their door. It's nicer, doing personal deliveries, since I like saying a brief hello to my clients. But it can't be helped. Everyone has things to do. I love that this feels like a milkman job. This is like the milkman. Oh my goodness. You look like you're made out of caramel and tentacles.
Reasonable.
Lobu or Labu?
Labu?
Labu. Labu. This is Labu.
Thanks, Bill.
Honey salt, huh? Planning on doing something special for the eclipse?
Yup. Thinking of throwing a bit of a party.
Glad you could get your salts safely then. Glad I could get you your salt safely then.
I appreciate it. You be careful on your route now. You hear?
Your face is so cute. Your little charming little mouth. That's adorable.
It is.
Will do.
Oh my.
Everyone seems happy. So there is a little bit of this spirit of energy around the eclipse here that reminds me of like the idea of Christmas season.
Right.
Like without the consumerism of everyone just basically going, it's that nice time of year, and you all have something in common.
Right.
And I kind of love that.
It's pretty good, honestly.
Everyone seems happy. It's nice. It's a nice day. This is so good. Like I didn't know what this was gonna be like. Like we just like briefly skimmed it to see if basically our computer could handle the graphics, and that's it. My next delivery is a few blocks away, but I can cut through the park. The ground is a little wetter here. Oops, lost my check. Hold on.
It ran away.
Oh, my battery is gone.
Oh, why did you not plug it in? You could plug it into this thing.
Oh, because I forgot. Hold on, guys. We lost our chat window because we don't have 2 monitors in here. So we'll be with just a second because I forgot to plug in my phone.
My friend was.
Because I forgot I could share power because I'm a nerd.
You did. It's fine.
A nerd. So hold on.
Annoyed. All right.
Anyway, okay. So the ground's a little wetter here. The dirt soiled beneath my feet instead of
solid.
Oh, sorry, solid. Thank you. Instead of kicking up into little puffs. I love that we actually think about the little puffs when we're running because that is a fun awareness.
It's true.
My claws dig into small grooves with each step, no doubt leaving a little line of tick marks to signal where I've been. They'll probably be trampled flat during the day, but only to repeat the next day. All right. Wink. The paths in the park are flanked by trees, their gnarled branches reaching haphazardly up and outwards, as if they're also looking forward to the eclipse. Small insects lay nestled in the bark, their wings shimmering like water droplets each time they flit around. A few of them chitter at each other, set to the backdrop of crows shouting. These crows are just like everywhere. We have stories to tell and things to say and...
Well, part of my thing is going like, are they actually crows or are they just what you call crows?
I know, right? I would love to see the crows at some point.
Honestly, I almost kind of wonder, since I have my phone now, you could just probably flip yours into the wall.
That's fine. I'll just leave it here for now. It's not going to hurt anything. And
Okay.
We'll
I mean,
catch
it
up
won't.
later.
I don't think it'll charge as fast as what I'm saying.
Yeah, it's fine.
All right.
All right, here we go. Let's see. I lost my... Oh, shouting. Somewhere further away, there's the quiet drone of some sort of factory, belching long streamers of smoke.
Ooh.
Whoosh. It's nice here. The atmosphere is great. I really like getting to cut through the park. We are nature, bro.
We are.
I'm so distracted that I don't hear the sound of footsteps approaching as I ran through, going squish, 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 soft, good pounded dirt. Rapidly. Brattan. Brattan? I don't know.
Whatever.
It's yellow though. So let's see. Should I do this one?
Sure.
You've got all the other ones. Let's see here. I don't even know. Bill. Oh my god. Oh my god. That is a beefcake wolf if I ever saw one.
Hello, furry.
You are hilarious.
I have found the werewolf.
A boisterous pillar of fur and energy comes bursting out of the foliage. A good dog. A good boy. Directly to my right. I jump almost 2 feet in the air. Boing!
Hang on, forgot.
Okay, we forgot to look.
We forgot to look.
This one's a little more ordinary looking. I still like the things
It's
dripping off it.
though.
Oh, I don't dislike it at all. I was just like, this one doesn't have as much growth and pus because maybe flesh only grows on buildings.
Oh.
And the organic things are other just different organics.
Maybe. That would be really interesting. All right.
Anyway, a boisterous pillar of fur. Hey, Bill.
Hey.
Brattan stinks of sweat and dirt. His fur matted dark in spots, plastered out in strange directions from dried fluids, and there's a blob of something fleshy stuck to his jaw. He was just hunting and rolling in it.
Pretty
He's
much.
like, I am the best good dog, and I would roll in it, and I would wag my tail, and I would eat everything. It would be amazing.
Beautiful.
Hey, Brattan, been out all night? Yeah, just as I suspected. We were exploring out westward since we smelled a lot of salt. Haven't found anything yet, though. I'm sure you'll find it soon. You guys are really good at your jobs. Brattan beams at me. Look at that smile.
Yay.
Tail wagging side to side and knocking around some innocent sapling branches. He's one of those big
Boisterous
dogs.
roof pillar.
Yes, absolutely. Good name, good title. Love it. I'm also just like imagining the big dog problem of when I wag my tail and knock things over.
I
Because
have
just
been the person who gets knocked over because of the tail with big dogs when I was younger, because you're just like whack and you're like, I am KO. Wasted.
My balance is toast.
Yes, that has been me.
That's amazing, and I love it.
Mhm.
All right, knocking around the sapling branches. Brattan works as a salt scout. That's great.
That's super cool.
Here we go. Salt scouts search the flesh fields outside the city in search of raw salt pools. These pools are where we harvest the raw salt for processing at the plant, then distributing out to the people. An important job, in other words. Salt scouts depend on their sense of smell or sensitivity to changes in the air to seek out the signature sting of salt. So apparently, many of them don't mind working during the night when visibility is poor. It's not unusual to see a salt scout heading home in the morning, dirty from a long night of exploring.
That's super
That's
awesome.
adorable. And call me that's adorable.
Oh, I can see that. That would be cute. Bless you, friend.
Now it's my turn. It's the salt. I have to sneeze.
All
the smells make me sneeze. I say yes. Undertale
Undertale.
Guardian Dog.
Undertale has a lot of dogs, but then again, Toby Fox really likes dogs. So
I have still never Undertaled, so I
It's
have
okay.
I have big fandom, but I support anybody supporting dogs, so it's okay.
support the animals.
Support that support. Anyway, even after a night of what must have been exhausting work, Brattan talks at a boisterous growl. That's adorable.
Yes.
I thought I smelled you with salt, so I figured I'd catch you now. If I pick up my salt from you there, it'll make your route.
here.
Oh, from you here, it'll make your route a little easier, right?
Oh, these people are like, they're all like, we all collectively work together and we're all going towards a specific goal. Like, it's so good.
I know,
I
right?
just really like it.
This is really great, actually, in so many ways, because like everybody's very friendly. Like I'm getting a solid like community vibe here, and like everybody's sort of just being pretty chill. Like it's not it's not like everything's equal, because obviously you have poverty, you have economic struggles and stuff. But I kind of like that. Also, the thoughtfulness is very charming. A smile tugs at my face. Brattan looks terribly proud of his innovative thought. I caught you here. I am smart. I say it helps a lot. Say it's a good thing you didn't miss each other. Say you wouldn't want Brattan to wear himself out. Oh, this is more character design. Well, don't wear yourself out. No, I think I'll just say it helps a lot. He's in such a cheery mood. It sounds reasonable to match his mood.
Right.
And be like, I support you.
Yes.
There's no way I can squelch that sort of enthusiasm.
Yep.
Yes. Thanks. It helps a lot. Not really. My road takes me past Brattan's house anyway, but I won't tell him that. He's very proud of himself.
Aww.
I let him have it. That's very cute. Brattan gives a wide smile, showing off every single one of his sharp teeth. Ha! Those great big happy dog smiles where they just hang their mouth open. Ha! That's adorable. No problem. It's awfully endearing. He is adorable. Well, let me check what your delivery for today is.
I'll just make sure.
Just the usual for me.
He's like, aye.
No, normal. I'm predictable. You can give me my usual. You remember what my usual is, right? Do you like me?
Do you like my
He pipes up before I can double check my note. So I nod as I shift the bundle on my shoulder to pull out his usual delivery. 2 packs of regular salt. Brattan tends to eat a bit more than average. Understandable with how much time he spends moving around. That's adorable. He's like, nom, 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 nom. By the way, he sounds excited. I bet he's going to talk about the eclipse. This is great. Everyone, I can't talk about the eclipse. The eclipse? Is it the eclipse? By the way, do you have any plans for the eclipse?
Oh my.
Oh, that is like a ha. The swinging of his tail has grown ferocious. He's like, eclipse?
So I will also have to say, guys, just for you, so we did, I believe, mention that we did turn off the, basically the explicit stuff in this game.
We did.
Apparently there is actually, like, explicit, I guess, written smut in here.
Is there?
It says there's descriptions of sex in this game.
Well, apparently, if you want the hardcore version, you will have to get the game for yourself. This, as all of our games recently, has been part of the bundle for racial justice and equality.
Yep, from
but it's
itch.io.
still available from itch. We don't know the price because we bought it in the bundle, but
I think actually when I just looked at it, it was like $2 or something.
Oh, okay, so inexpensive. So if you need the smut once we're done with this, like go grab yourself some.
Yeah, you
If
got
you
it.
can
We
go
support you.
get it. All right. The swinging of his tail has grown ferocious, batting a branch aside with enough gusto to snap it in half. That's adorable.
That's really
That
cute.
is so cute. I kind of just want like a blur graphic behind him. It would be adorable.
It'd be real good.
Not really. Everyone seems so excited for the eclipse, which I suppose is the normal reaction. Except for I might not be old enough to have seen one before or to remember it. And so I go, I suppose this is the normal reaction, but I don't actually know.
Right.
It's probably weirder that I'm more laid back about it, but that's just my nature. Besides, it makes me happy enough just to see other people being so excited. Their feelings are infectious. This person is chill as hell. I get the expression just very chill.
I am le calme.
Right. Oh, look at the face. Oh, really? Come on, you should live a little. Brattan's enormous paw claps on my back, making me stumble forward a step. He is a strong boy. I just stumble. I smack you. You are strong. One of the two salt packets spill from my bundle, but he catches them before they hit the ground. Responsible for his actions. Endorsed.
Quite.
Oops. Sorry about that. It's all right. I put those packets away and managed to extract 2 packets of regular salt in the process. Here you go. The usual for you. Thanks, Bill. For a moment, Brattan sounds like he's about to add something. Look at his little
Pensive
person.
face.
That is adorable. Look at his face. I love how everyone looks away from you when they think about it. Thank you.
know.
Yes,
The
smiles.
smile
This
is-
is adorable. Yes, agreed. So many smiles.
Well, and also the thing about the smut, if that's what you're going for.
I also possibly smuts.
Yeah.
Alright. But stops to himself. I don't prod, just readjusting my bundle. Sure enough, he shifts his weight from one foot to another for a few moments in a nervous fidget before speaking up. Again, that's an adorable face. Hey, you should really consider doing something, looks away, for the eclipse.
Like me.
The responsible, level-headed one. Everyone going, can I hit on you? I need a reason to hit on you because you're professional and level-headed. So the eclipse is a reason. I've been waiting for months. I've been waiting for a year. Please. Oh, well, it's not that I'm against doing anything, but I guess I just don't have any plans. So you'd be up for doing something adventurous? Brattan blurts that out loudly enough to startle a crow overhead, and I can't help being curious. Going, like, what did you have in mind? Maybe? Hi. Cool.
Yes. Senpai noticed me.
Might be open to it. You're saying there's a chance. There's a pause before he hurries to add. Not that I have anything planned or anything. I was just asking.
Totally.
Like long pause. Not that I have anything planned or anything. Just asking. You never know what might come up, is what I'm saying. Might arise.
I appreciate, honestly, that this delivery person, who feels a little bit like a postal worker crossed with the milkman, also feels pretty comfortable, honestly, around everyone around them, and you establish pretty quickly kind of what their relationships are, and you get to see where they stand with everyone.
I also like that they enjoy their job. There's a real piece here of that being nice, and then, specifically saying, I actually like meeting with people, because some people doing delivery stuff, it really does, because of the nature of their job, like slow them down to talk to people and make them anxious whether they're going to be on time or what have you.
Right.
And this doesn't feel like that environment at all. It's like, we want to be punctual and we know what we need to do, but it's not like anyone's cramping our style or making it hard, which is nice. I have to fight back a grin. Brattan isn't good at being subtle. I guess you're right, Muriel, in another life. Oh!
I think he wishes that, like, whoa.
If his life had been good.
Yeah, maybe.
Alright. Knowing Brattan, maybe he'll teach me about some hidden location to view the eclipse from. He knows the area like the back of his hand. Thanks to his job, this shortcut through the park is also something he taught me about. That's adorable. He's like, so at some point, like, I see you doing your route, and there's actually a shortcut through the park that might take you from this street you're on to this street you need to go to that you might like. I could show you if you want.
And it conveniently goes by my house.
And conveniently, allows me to see you more often.
Oh no, not working. We hang.
Wait, is the sound not working?
Which part
or
is
the
it?
visuals not working? Has our computer failed to visual? All right, we're just gonna hold still for a second and until we get an update.
We're hanging. Let us know.
Is it like I was gonna say, whether it's sound or visuals? Let us know. We can also. I mean, our connection should be good.
Looks like it's a little iffy here in the corner.
It is a little low. We should be okay though. Usually even 3 bars at the library is strong.
Oh yeah, well I mean, you know, business internet. Why
I
do
know.
you want business speeds? Because I like having access to the internet?
Because I
also-
want to be able to stream.
Ugh.
I bet you if we could ever get internet at home, our desktop is more robust. It might be able to do other games.
It's true.
And then we may have more options.
We might.
Alright, looks normal to you. Okay, everything sound okay? Alright, we're gonna start moving forward then again, and just let us know if you're still having problems, okay? It could be internet on your side, possibly. Hopefully, hope for the best.
Okay, you closed it, reopened it. How's it looking? Look good?
Alright, we've done that a couple of times in the past when we've had troubles too.
Yeah.
Alright, let's see. Park, back of his hand. So I'd actually be pretty happy if he taught me about a strange new location to visit during the eclipse.
No, it's totally okay. Don't apologize. We understand. Why do you think we're at the library?
I mean, we're at the library because our internet is incapable. Alright.
It's non-existent.
It is. We
Yeah.
only have phone internet, nothing else.
That's it.
It might be a nice change of pace. Alright, and then we can keep going. Yeah.
Hang on. I did clicky.
Mm-hmm. Oh, we might have clicked out of the screen accidentally.
Did you click out of the screen?
Anyway.
Oh.
Anyway, I'll let you get back to your job.
Hey.
Brattan's stifling a yawn as he says that. Even his endless energy must be running low after working all night. It's like, it's my bedtime and I have food, yay!
Yay, I'm glad it looks good. Excellent. Good
Alright,
stuff.
here we go.
Yeah, let us know, you guys, if anything kind of goes shifty. We will wait. We will see if we can do something like to help, but we will hang around. Like,
Yep, we can totally do that. There's not enough people like hanging on our every word for us to worry about disappointing a large audience.
Alright.
Alright, here we go. Sure. You get some rest. Go get some rest. Will do. There's no warning before Brattan leans in to lick my face. That's adorable. Okay, his tongue dragging all the way up from my chin to my brow and leaving a sticky trail of drool in its wake. A very moist sign of affection. Good job. Do good on your job, and I'll see you tomorrow.
Yay.
And with that, Brattan is on his way.
Bye, Brattan.
Bye, Brattan.
Brattan.
As Brattan, I think Brattan sounds cute.
Brattan is fun.
Brattan makes his loud exit, crashing his way. I'm sorry, hold up. Crashing his way through some defenseless bushes and leaving a trail of trampled ground in his wake. He waves back as he turns a corner around a prickly bush up ahead, then vanishes from view. It's only then that I raise a hand to my face, considering wiping away the damp tracks lingering on my face. I end up just leaving it be. It's not a big deal after all, and my face gets chapped from running against the wind all day. The sheen of spit soothes the raw skin a little bit.
Oh, maybe we have like pus issues because where we get our faces messed up?
I think moist affection. I mean, I can see the moist affection, but I can also see cute because they seem super comfortable with it.
Right.
Because sometimes, like, the people, I lean in and touch you, and there's a real level of discomfort that gets commuted through, you know, language experience. And I love that Vil seems comfortable, so that's nice.
Right. And that's the thing. Sometimes you kind of go, okay, that is not my reaction, but I'm glad it works for you, kind of thing.
So, after one last check of my bundle, to make sure it's secure, I turn my attention back to the path to the park. They also, though, do sound now a little bit self-destructive to me in their work ethic, because again, there's usually things you can do to treat, like either chapping or drying experiences that come from your job, and some people, they really do just go, I just push through it. Because tough, but it's also a little bit reckless, so that also helps define character a little bit.
Yeah.
Alright. So after one last check of my bundle, to make sure it's secure, I turn my attention back to the path through the park. Time to get back to work.
Ooh.
Oh, hello. Look at your teeth. Amazing. What do you think?
Wow.
Here you go.
It's Roland.
Roland. Maybe some. I love your rope, like, cinch on your. Okay, so like this is like a curtain rope run through the actual cloak to tie it around, and that's kind of cool to me.
It is pretty.
Like it's just kind of like you just take the entire thing, sort of like, you know, it's just a giant, you know, rectangle with sleeves,
Right.
and then you just put them on like a snuggie and just tie it in place. That's very charming. Right.
It's the answer to get myself directly from you instead of my box.
I understand. I'm glad I could get it to you, too.
You're such a good kid. You take care. Alright.
Will do, sir. The route grows easier towards the end of the day, as my bundle grows ever lighter. I have to stop to tie it tighter over my shoulder, making sure the excess fabric doesn't billow and flap around me too much as I run. I wonder how far this route is, because it doesn't sound like there's a huge amount of salt in there, but I imagine it's like distance the way I'm getting this.
Yeah.
The deliveries go smoothly. Everyone seems to be in a pretty good mood, and one client gives me a cup of water to keep me going. Though I don't need the water, it's still a nice energy boost, and I thank her for it before continuing on my way.
Aww.
That sort of work ethic of going, I won't even deal with any of my needs, and they're just kind of things that could be addressed. No, that's what I'm getting from this person, like super professional and balanced. And again, everyone needed an excuse to try and ask you out because you're so basically not really formal, but very, very, professional.
Right.
Just going, I have
Friendly but professional.
friendly but professional, that kind of thing of I feel like I need a reason to do things. I would have loved to just walk through the park with you, but instead I said that it's a shortcut on your job. That's how I get to walk through the park with you.
Yeah, right.
Can you see that going that way?
Yeah, no,
I
absolutely.
love that. One block has 5 houses in a row that need deliveries. One house is occupied, and I get to hand the salt to my client directly. But the other 4 are empty, so I leave the salt in their boxes. Maybe they're off at work, or maybe they're making preparations for the eclipse. Hopefully I can say hi to them tomorrow, at least.
Every single day, man.
That block done, I trot to the end of the street, to the corner. That sounds light, instead of a gallop, I trot over there like, yes, almost done. But the sound of screaming catches my attention. Looking up, I catch sight of a small crowd a few blocks down. I wonder if it's the same crowd.
Oh,
It takes me a moment of squinting to realize what it is. A punishment salt bath.
Oh, no.
Oh, we do have corporal punishment, don't we?
Yeah, we're gonna figure out what the punishment thing is.
Let's find out. Oh, ouch. Oh, maybe the cups are not the good thing. There's a giant metal tub placed on the ground, flanked on either side by an overlook officer. Ow. And inside the tub, salt, a person, a criminal.
Inside the tub, salt. And
a person.
A criminal.
Sorry, the parsing, I was having a hard time figuring out the mood of it.
Aww. Poor person.
This seems rough, but we don't know what their system is at all.
No, that still sucks.
Also, real diversity in your force as well. Like you have, sort of more reptilian and much more mammalian looking.
Right.
I feel for them. Each overlook officer is holding a capture pole, the wires at the end strung taut around the criminal's limbs, keeping them firmly in the salt bath. Even from this distance, I can make out patches of raw, wet flesh, areas where the criminal's skin has been flayed off to expose them to the salt. Ow!
Ow! Ooh!
Ow, baby!
Ooh!
No doubt, the salt in the bath is starting to stain red and clump together from the blood and fluids. My mouth waters just a little from the thought. We are hungry.
Yeah, hungry.
See the torture and is hungry. These punishment salt baths serve a dual function.
I was about to say, you're going to introduce why you go, I drool at the thought.
On the one hand, this is a pretty good punishment, though larger crimes earn harsher punishments. First-time offenders are usually only getting a salt bath. The pain of having raw flesh exposed to salt is usually enough to deterrent to keep people from repeating their mistakes in the future.
Sounds like they don't have a lot of, basically re-education, though. We're basically trying to support people. It's just, you were caught, you get in trouble, we burn you. Ouch, that sucks.
That's
Dang.
rough. And on the other hand, the salt used in these punishment is a bit of a delicacy. Though not as prized as honey or mercury salt, punishment salt has a savory tang to it that almost everyone enjoys. So you guys get and process the punishment salt after they do it.
Yep.
Whoa.
That's intense.
Just enough blood gets mixed into the salt to give it a unique flavor and take some of the harsh edge to the original salt taste. Take off some of the harsh edge to the original salt taste.
Oof, intense.
I'll probably be seeing a bunch of punishment salt be delivered tomorrow. Wow, because there's the bat.
Yep.
Oof. Maybe I'll claim a package or two for myself. Everyone's talking about the eclipse after all. Maybe I can treat myself.
That's sort of horrible in that way of going, I literally live off your pain.
I was going to say, there is a level of going, and having the mixed feelings about the experience of seeing someone punished between this is how things are done, and ouch, but also that's food, and that's special food. Damn.
That is conflict 101.
Complex moral struggles. Oof. Whoever's immersed in the salt gives a gurgling scream. Sunlight glints bright off the salt tub. stay and watch a little longer, get back to work. I feel like with the fact that I'm like, ooh, ouch. I feel like this is definitely a chance to either interact with probably the situation or not, but I also feel like we're getting near the end of our shift and we've been stopped several times. We would keep going.
Okay.
The intensity of music, though, is encouraging. That it is like, this is a serious situation, you know? So we're going to get back to work.
Sure, let's get back to work. Let's do it.
As interesting as this is, I think it would be best to get back to work.
God, I cannot wait to actually go through this game and sort of replay it.
This is
like, sorry you guys, like, I'm gonna be excited. I'm like, dude, this is gonna be so much fun to just sort of pap around and see what this looks like.
Yeah,
like,
and see the other experiences, but because we're only gonna do, you know, one path through as we always do, and this is wild.
Yeah, because we want everyone to have the opportunity to be able to not only have fun with us, but you know what? Also encourage people to go play the game if they want to go play.
And have their own experiences, because it really is a different experience playing on your own. Like, even games that I've watched all the way through, then I go and play them, it's a very different experience.
Oh, hell yeah. It's like,
Right.
we ruin, I think, a lot of stuff just because there's two of us, and I say that, you know, sort of in a teasing fashion, but it is a thing to keep in mind when you listen to Let's Players or watch whatever. Like, even I watching people is really this thing of going, typically most people do a lot of heavy editing. And so while we cut out a lot of the heavy editing, what we add is the fact that there's two of us, and that wildly changes a lot.
Yeah, we've been told this is way more like a podcast Let's Play, even when we do our actual episodes, because again, we don't heavily edit stuff, we just hang out.
Yeah.
I turn my attention back to the streets ahead. The officers are grunting something at the criminal, but I ignore it. Even if the smell of blood and salt in the air is tantalizing. Take 1, 2, 3 quick steps and launch into a steady trot. I also get the idea that this is very very normalized. There's no level of like distress on the on our protag's part at all. Just a level of, oh, the thing is happening and food kind of thing. I'm still on the job, so I shouldn't lose my focus.
That's also really hard because I'm like, damn, because if it was me, honestly, I'd be like, we shouldn't basically be encouraging this, even if you get food out of it. That's like the same argument though for like.
Don't worry, when you play it yourself, you can also have the spot.
Yeah, you can also have the spot. But also, like, the big thing for me is just going, like, I'd be like, even if you get something out of it, which is like what we say we get out of privatized prisons and exploiting slave labor, because that's exactly what happens here in the United States. We're exploiting the labor of basically individuals who have been sent to prison, and then we demonize them, we take away, you know, so much from them.
In a lot of places they take away voting rights and stuff like that, but the slave labor does a huge amount for communities and infrastructures and like firefighting and stuff like that, but again, it's that trade-off of, is it okay to do this with people?
But also at the same time too, people have pointed out, so like what happened in California with a bunch of the fires, and I think there are still fires going on, is that due to the fact that basically their slave labor, the prisons, came down with COVID, they had nobody to go fight their fires because they were so heavily dependent upon them.
But
and
the regular
also,
firefighting force couldn't do it at all.
and then adding on top of that, people actually got way more involved because they realized, and it's been shared more extensively, I should say. It's not that people didn't know, but it was shared more publicly of going, you guys, these people have also been told that if they go do firefighting, they will have that skill when they get out of prison, that they will be able to then go get a job as a firefighter, which
And
they cannot
it wasn't
totally
actually
do.
true because you're not allowed to. I was going to say because of the history of being in prison. But the thing is it was really interesting to have it come up and be way more popular, like common knowledge shared, which was really, really nice because all of our various media platforms allow for so much more awareness that we don't have, even if it's in bits and pieces.
Yeah.
Already, back to the city. I've managed to drag my thoughts away from the salt bath. By the time I reach the end of the block, I'm at the tail end of my route, and with almost nothing left in my bundle, each step feels light.
I love that. The music, hardcore music is still going like, oh, you walked away from it. Like,
I drop 2 salt packages in a delivery box before rounding the corner. Immediately, there's a unique sweetness in the air. Without thinking, I raise my head and inhale deeply. I smell a thing. I'm still going with the very long neck experience. Even if I'm deeply familiar with the smell, it's still enticing. One can't help but breathe in deeper inhales around this area, and there's always a few people loitering around. Free smells. Up ahead is the bee store. Bee store. Bees. Look at the bees. Sorry, I have to be quiet. The small bone chime above the door rattles as I enter.
time to look at the bees.
Look at the bees. Everybody loved the bees. We're gonna go from from like a little bit of like body horror to adorable floofy bees.
They're real cute, but like tiny cages. No.
Maybe we don't know what the backs are like.
Oh, that's true.
That's
Good
true.
point,
Well,
good point,
we
good point.
there might be a lot more room in there, sort of like being in a honeycomb or something.
Right.
On the other hand, it might be small. Who knows?
Yeah.
But also some things like small environments, or these could be display cages for people buying these, and they're like fish bowls that are actually used properly. They're temporary.
Right. Okay.
I want to think the best of this game. It's my interest to do so. The cages before me buzz in response. Bees, buzz, I love you. The air inside the store is already dizzyingly sweet, but the heady scent intensifies for a moment, and I utterly lose my train of thought. Too much of this person, work and food. This is who they are. They're like, food, And I utterly lose my train of thought. Standing before the entrance, I just focus on taking in 1, 2, 3 deep breaths, each lungful making me feel more languid. Blob, look at you. Nyargh. I feel like we should both do this because there's multiple vowels.
Sure.
Right. You're here, huh? It's a gruff voice, sounding from further inside the store that snaps me back to attention. Hey, Nyargh, I have your salt. Nyargh stands up between 2 tall rows of cages, making notes on a scrap of paper, probably taking notes on the condition of his bees. That tongue, blah, 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 blah. As I make my way down the aisle, the cages around me buzz happily. All happy bees. They are balanced. Oh, look at a bee. Each cage contains a large, fat bee. Some are shy and turn away as I walk by, but others are more personable and bumble up. Bees bumbling. I need bees bumbling up to the front of the cage to poke their antenna through the bars and wiggle them at me. So cute.
I know.
One cage contains a particularly fluffy bee that wiggles its abdomen at me as I approach. Priorities: food, work, and fluff.
Yes.
And fluff, the fluffy bee. I will notice what is important about this bee is how fluffy it is.
It's much fun.
I've helped bathe this one before, so it's familiar with me. When I pause to poke my fingers through the bars of its cage, it toddles closer and ducks its head so I can rub the area behind its head, right where the bristly fur starts to sprout. I pet it a few times, rubbing my fingers in short strokes, and it hums happily in response. Flicking its wings, honey dribbles from its mandibles, leaving damp yellow spots on the padding in the cage. Oh, comfy cage too. Hey there, you're not supposed to be wasting honey like that. I tried. Don't blame my bee for that. You're the one who made her drool. Nyargh must have finished taking his notes because he's made his way down the aisle towards me. The bulk of his body towers over me, leaning over to peer into the cage where the bee is rubbing at its mandibles with its frontmost legs. Clean, 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 clean. Hi, we get this. My girls have had to work hard these days. You shouldn't agitate them. Oh, right. Sorry. You're fine. Just, no. I love the different expressions.
Face just blam.
Expressions.
Yeah.
You got it. Look at those teeth. Amazing.
Wow.
Just don't excite them too much. Look at that. I love the different mouths on you.
Yeah.
You are amazing, bro. Got it. Less petting. We're okay. The bee continues to wash its face off, antenna flicking periodically. Because of the eclipse, huh? Yeah. Oh my god, I love the change in expressions. That's great.
So good.
And not surprising. Bees are highly prized for their honey. Everyone loves honey salt, after all. I like Nyargh. Yes. Nyargh is good.
Okay, I'm really glad it works a lot better though. That's super
I hope
awesome.
so. Yes, good, excellent. Thank you for the feedback. Nyargh's store sells both bees and honey. Bees are expensive. It's like goods. Both to buy and to care for. So not many people can afford to buy one. But saving up to buy some honey for special occasions is much more doable. Maybe I can do that, actually. Since I don't have any other plans for the eclipse, maybe instead of punishment salt, I can get honey salt. Hey, Nyargh? Little lips. Do you have any plans for the eclipse? We're actually going to ask this one.
Oh.
No. Also, not surprising. Nyargh is the type who largely keeps to himself. Therefore, the most freak in the sack. Oh,
I am quite possibly.
But I suppose the eclipse should be nice to watch. With no eyes. The licking. Blah, blah, blah. This is so great. I would love to learn this person's expressions. You would be so much more like diverse at understanding things and reading like body cues and stuff and paying attention to people if everyone looked this different.
Right?
Right? I'm thinking the same thing. Maybe just take a relaxing break, watching it happen. Sounds ideal. Think I should buy some honey for the occasion? Oh,
I think Bill is
ask
actually
the
interested
question.
in Nyargh, and that's fascinating.
maybe. Or going, I'd like to try you, draw you out a little bit.
Right.
I do have a few bottles left for today. Thank you. We enjoy doing chorus voices on the couple of occasions we've had a chance. If you ever do check out, let's see, our My Mystic Dragons.
Yeah.
There's a point where we have the Council of Elders that we theorize is a Hydra that all speaks at once, and we do multi-voice for that as well.
Mm-hmm. The dual voices are
Their
fun.
schizophrenia move, yes. Excellent.
Yeah.
All right.
Oh.
All right. I do have bottles. Let's see. Say you're considering buying some. Ask to put a bottle on hold. Jokingly ask if you can work for a discount.
Huh.
Honestly, if we're trying to get them to lighten up and being like, hey, I could hang out with you. And also, if you work with them, you get to hang around them. Like, it could be just a level of, I'm trying to get to the honey and I respect you, but also I'm trying to draw you out of your shell just out of as a sort of a social nature kind of thing. I think I want to go ask if we can work for a discount because we get to hang around them. I'm going to give this a shot. Maybe a joke would lighten the mood a little. They are rather serious. Is there any chance I can help you clean up in the evening in exchange for a discount? Nyargh grits some of his teeth, seemingly in thought. But before I can tell him not to worry about it, he mutters, I guess I could figure something out for you. Oh, cute. I laughed gently. I'm kidding. I wouldn't do that to you.
Aw.
I don't have my wallet with me. You don't usually carry it around on the route. But I might take you up on that offer tomorrow. Nyargh only grunts in response, but some of his lips quirk a little. I think he's pleased. That's great.
Little smile.
I love the different expressions. Like, what? There's so much to watch on this character.
It's so good.
It's really good. Yes. The bone chime on the door rattles. That was a ding ding, but that's okay. And there's only so many generic sound effects one can get.
It's true.
And I give Nyargh a quick wave. I'd better go, actually, but I'll see you tomorrow. Nyargh grunts again, already turning towards his new customers, also professional and grumpy. This is grumpy professional blob. They are our friend.
I like them.
I give the bees a little wave too. They buzz back at me. They are aware and connected to this, like dogs wagging. The sweet scent of honey in the air intensifying in that moment. Everybody bzz, blows the air around. Ooh.
Everybody, oh God.
I almost stumble as I turn towards the door. Inhaling deeply one last time before stepping out.
Food.
Oh God. So much sugar, so much... Why do we keep running into games with food? Food games,
I am
oh my
so
God.
hungry.
There's every time we are doing this. If we ever get famous, or like even moderate famous, we're doing food with the people and that will be it.
That's what we do.
My head clears immediately. The air just outside is still sweet, but it's nothing compared to the intensity inside the store.
Oh God, I can feel like that weight. Where I've literally, you walk into like confectionaries, you walk into shops that are like, we have this thing, and you just go, I'm gonna die.
And you slowly start getting sort of a contact sugar high, and then you walk out and like your head is like, whoa, now I can process. I just, wow. All right, outside, a few people peer into the window, looking at the bees on display there. I just imagine like the window bees being like those puppy bins. You just have these big woofy bees just wandering around looking adorable like by me.
They're so cute.
I love it. I love how much is that
No.
bumble in the window? The one with the buzzy buzz buzz. I just okay.
Hi.
Oh wow. Hello. Do you have like leprosy?
I don't know.
Whoa. It smells so good here, doesn't it? Wanna go inside?
Nah, I don't want to run into the owner guy.
He's a pain. Why? What's wrong with the owner? I was about to resume my route, but I paused. pretending to adjust the fabric tied over my shoulder, also keeping an eye on things. I love that you're like partially transformed, as well as the split in flesh, because you have a human arm as well,
Right.
and like even like a more human finger on the edge. Like this is thoughtful.
I know.
Like, yes, we were excited about this game. We're like monsters all the way. This is great. Not that that's even necessary. The strangers don't pay me any attention. Tries to look non-conspicuous. Is so non-conspicuous you don't exist.
I heard he doesn't eat much salt.
So what?
But he eats something else other than salt.
What? I roll my eyes a little.
Nobody knows, but it's not normal to eat so little salt, you know. And my friend said he once went in the store and they saw him eating one of the bees.
Maybe this is the Vor character. Who knows?
Maybe.
Gross. I've heard all I can bear, all I care to hear. So I finish adjusting my pack and set off at a steady gallop. Like, do not slander my good business friend.
Screw you.
There are a few weird rumors about Nyargh floating around, and though I once interrupted some gossipy customer, Nyargh told me not to bother in the future, that he doesn't care what other people say. He's like, people can talk, my business is stable.
Right.
My ego is not delicate.
Screw you.
Still, it irks me that people bother making up these silly rumors about people just because they're different.
The question is how is he? I would love to know what kind of
What is
different
considered different
Uh-huh.
in this case because of what we've seen and going, what is considered different? Is it because he doesn't have eyes, because he's mostly mouths, or is it like keeping bees is different? Who knows?
Right.
Nyargh is a good guy. And when I get home, I'll look through my savings to make sure I have enough to buy a little bottle of honey. He seems pleased by my promise to buy a bottle, after all. Oh, look at you. Hello.
Thanks, Phil. I was worried you might be late since things seem so hectic today.
I'm glad I didn't keep you waiting.
So many freaking characters.
There's
Damn,
a
you guys.
lot. This is amazing.
You always work so hard, so I know I can count on you.
I think it's Shyler.
I might be actually.
I think I kind of like that.
But don't work yourself too hard, you hear? Make sure you give yourself some time off on the eclipse.
I'll do that. Don't you worry. I think the ones that ask about the eclipse are the ones that this one's dateable kind of thing.
Maybe.
Like that's gonna be my guess, but I don't know because they're all fully developed. I
I'm
kind of love
actually
it. Rat. Yes, and it
Yes.
is a good loaf rat.
Is it good rat?
It's a
Actually,
good
I'm
rat.
kind of wondering if the ones that are dateable are
Important though. Is it a cereal rat?
actually.
Okay. Inside
So
joke.
I was trying to say.
Sorry, go ahead.
I keep trying to say.
No,
over
go,
and
go,
over.
go,
Okay.
do it.
Is basically that if the ones that are dateable are actually the ones that have colors on their name,
Oh, maybe.
because you wonder. We both went. Why is that orange?
Right, because some of them do have that. That might be the indicator. I kind of don't mind at all the lack of information in this game. It just feels kind of soft and okay. Anyway,
The head pats to her eye. The rat is very cute.
yeah, just be like, you are lovely. I wave to the last of my customers for the day, sighing quietly as I turn the corner back to the main street. The empty pack over my shoulder gets folded up into a little cloth bundle I can fit in my pocket. I'll drop this off tomorrow morning while picking up my salt. So my work for today is done.
That's
So you
super
swap
good.
out your carrying back every day? Hello, Beetle.
I guess.
Oh, excuse me. It's not too late when I get back home, but I feel tired nonetheless. Yes. Very tired. Maybe it's the atmosphere. Though the walk back home has been uneventful, the spark in the air has still been present. It has been like trying to wade through a shallow pool of water, the energy sloughing off one's skin in thin sheets with each little conversation. With the passerby. Everyone has seemed genuinely excited, and I was happy for them. Truly, I'm getting introvert vibes.
Yeah.
It just takes up your energy to talk to people, even though you enjoy doing it. But now that I'm in my room alone, I can't help wondering if it's really fine for me to have no plans at all for the eclipse.
Hang on, real quick. Just because I know it's at night,
In
and
the
I just
dark
wanted to
at
see
night.
it. Your tiny little beetle going.
It's fine.
I
am just here.
I do
Hello.
love that beetle. It's good.
Quick.
I open the window and lean out. As I chew on a block of salt, feeling each bite sting at my gums. Outside, the two moons glow past a gossamer curtain of clouds. They infuse the night sky with a gentle light, warding off the complete darkness, and I bask in the cold light as I reflect on the day's events. All of my customers had such different expectations for the eclipse. Distinctive personalities? In a dating game? Never. Aye. Oh, it sounded like Yiestol had something in mind. Same for Brattan. I guess Nyargh doesn't have any plans, but he has to work hard leading up to the eclipse. Interesting.
Huh.
Those also might be.
They might be the only dating options, actually, which is totally fine.
Oh,
actually,
it is fine.
Because I like the fact that there were so many other characters, though, too. It's really nice.
I do. There's so many of these games that go super hard isolationist, and they work so hard to give you the isolationist fantasy that they forget to build, the rest of the world, and also, how do I put it? Basically, the rest of your social environment. That one.
Right.
All right, I finished my salt, dusting my hands off outside, and close the window as I retreat back to my room. Well, I guess it's kind of late to be making any big decisions today.
Oh, we're going to be making some big decisions today, if you know what I mean.
The largest of decisions.
Huge.
Aye. And the belief that the eclipse will herald anything good is just superstition. It's a little early to be sleeping, but the day's been weirdly exhausting, and I can feel sleep rolling in like a blanket of fog, steadily clouding through my head. That's it. Work does take your entire day, and you get no personal time, which is okay, but that is an awareness.
Oh, yeah.
As I sink back into my bed and stare up at the ceiling, I idly consider tomorrow's route. I guess I'm going to be pretty busy tomorrow, too.
Because everybody's had bigger and bigger orders.
And there's probably more people that wait a little bit longer or that's not ready yet kind of thing. Though I start going over tomorrow's route in my head, I can feel my thoughts rapidly clouding over. I'll just deal with things as they happen, I guess. Take life as it comes. My eyes snap open automatically in the morning. I slept well. There's the beetle! I love the beetle. I usually sleep well. Running all day tends to do that to you. I resist the urge to roll over and bury my face back in my pillow. Good pillow. I love you.
Beautiful.
The most good pillow.
Goodiest of pillows.
Let's see. Settling for closing my eyes until the alarm beetle starts chirping.
It's so cute.
The moment that familiar noise starts buzzing from the bedside, I'm up on my feet, stroking its wings to quiet it. As I walk around my room munching on my salt, I glance outside where the skies are warm with sunlight. It's still early, but I can already hear the sound of faint chatter floating through the window. People aren't usually up and about at this time of day. I peek out the curtains as I lick the last crumbs of salt off my lips. I can spot a few people standing around, sweeping the streets and talking amongst themselves.
Or talking amongst themselves.
Thank you. Or talking. Probably discussing the eclipse. The only thing that ever happens around here.
No kidding.
If you're not wise about the eclipse, then you just have no life.
You are not with the times.
You are not with it. You are not the hip. You are out of date.
You are not bending space-time continuum like the rest of us.
I hurry a little as I wash my hands off and prepare to leave the house. I didn't set my alarm for today any earlier than usual, but maybe I should have. I get the feeling today's going to be a busy day. Here we go. Oh, hello, Aubrey.
Good morning, dear.
No, good morning, Aubrey.
In a hurry, are we?
Just a little. Seems like today's going to be hectic, so I should probably get to the plant fast.
Alright, I won't keep you then. Have a safe day.
The safest. Thanks. You too.
And make sure it's sane and consensual, whatever it is.
Sane and consensual all day. I feel a little bad about rushing past her like this, but I can already tell that today is going to be a bit different.
Oh dear.
There's a strange electricity in the air, the feeling that something's going to happen soon. A few blocks down the street, I can see a group of people huddled together, heads gathered. They look like they're discussing something very important, their hands and claws quivering with excitement. I take a right turn into an alleyway before I reach them, so I won't disrupt them by running through the group. No doubt, this is an important moment for them, but I do pick up the pace into a light trot. How long do people usually live? Here, I wonder, in like the game. That would be a good question. In the same way that we don't know how old Vil is or whether or not they've ever seen an eclipse before. And what, if there's an age of maturity, if it's different for different people. We know very little. And this is an example of soft world building that I really like. And I've talked about a lot of times of going, The fact that they don't explain hardly anything means that they don't need to explain hardly anything. But there's enough writing and character and connection that doesn't feel empty. You know?
Right.
And so there's that balance to strike a lot of the time.
I will also say what's helped that a lot though is the visuals.
It does.
Like it gives you it's pretty sparse in that way, but I kind of enjoy it. There's also that weird, like to me, kind of fun implication of going, there's not actually a lot of people in this world either. You know, even though you might just be Vil themselves might actually just be one runner of many. But I'm still kind of like, that sort of gives you an interesting, like, sort of post-apocalyptic, you know, or sort of strange, foreign, you know, alien world that did something, you know, kind of thing.
There is some of that going on. It's very interesting. I do like the fact that they specify crowds and things like that, though. So you do clearly have people around, many workers in, you know, the factory, that kind of thing. Even if it's not like tons of them.
Right.
Let's see. My boss might be mad if I'm late today of all days.
All days.
Today of all days.
Hang on.
Hold on.
You're here.
I am. Sorry if I'm late, boss.
You're not. Lucky for you.
Aye. He sounds tense, perhaps understandably. The plant feels busier than usual, with more people bustling around. They do get crazy busy around holidays and events. Like I will say, every manufacturing company that I've ever worked for, and there's been like 5 now, it really is. If there's a major event that demands a higher output of their product, there is absolutely a level of tension because you cannot prepare ahead if it's perishable or if it's specific like custom orders. There's no way to avoid a massive holiday or event push.
Nope, not at all. Because especially, like, they talk about it in regards to it's very difficult to set up for what the demand might be. You can make some guesses based off of previous years if you've been around that long, I say with a huge wink, because sometimes some companies are like, we do not know. And sometimes a big political event, or say like in this case, a big pandemic can make a huge change.
Shift in demand, yes,
And
massively.
yes, like, whoa.
He sounds tense, perhaps understandably. The plant feels busier than usual, with more people bustling around. He hasn't even told me to wear my mask yet, so I do it on my own. I don't want to stress him out for any reason. That's very considerate. How's today's
You do
route?
not have a mask yet.
But it says I wear my mask right there.
Oh.
Like it's really there. He hasn't.
He hasn't even told me, so I do it on my own. Okay.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Yeah,
I'm
that's what
sorry.
I was just commenting on, that I do it on my own. My friend was off in another
Sorry,
route.
I'm at the bit.
It's okay. How's today's route looking? I'm just so glad we have masks for this. This is super convenient for this game. Very timely.
You better go quick today. It's looking complicated.
Or you'll be out in the dark of the night delivering salt packs.
No salt packs.
I follow him over to the tables where today's delivery bundles are being assembled. They don't look as put together as they usually are by this time.
Oh dear.
Yeah, there's definitely a rush going on.
We're a bit behind on schedule. We got far more specialty salt requests than we planned, so we had to throw together a batch at the last moment. Didn't expect people to splurge this much for the eclipse.
He grumbles, but his hands don't stop moving. He keeps working. I stand alongside him, peeking over his shoulder at the delivery list, so I can help assemble salt packs and divide them into bundles accordingly. That is me as an employee. I don't just stand there and wait for someone else to do it. I join in as long as it's not going to be oppressive, like every time.
Right.
It's true that the list looks far more complicated than it usually does. Longer, too. Usually the daily deliveries are almost all plain salt, with just a handful of specialty deliveries. Today, the list is peppered with requests for honey, mercury, and punishment salt. So much for my plans for requesting some punishment salt of my own. I'd better focus on getting my job done today first. I want to work with the bees. I'm excited to work with the bees.
Me too.
I really am like, bees! My whole brain. Bees! Wrapping the salt into my specialty is my specialty, so my movements are a little slow. You know, practice movements in manufacturing, they do take time. Like skilled station people are that way for a reason. Alright, but even that's better than nothing. Judging by the way my boss gives an approving nod, his hands dart around the table, grabbing up salt blocks from the crates and wrapping them tight in the pre-cut fabric in one smooth movement, then sliding them across the table. I know he's been the head of salt plant for 50 years now. This must be second nature for him. Well, Palm, he lives a while.
He does live a while.
If he got old enough to be mature and then make it through whatever ranks are required to be head of salt plant, whether it's through nepotism or through work or whatever, and then has done it for 50 years, this is an older boy.
Yes.
You're a good kid. You know that? You're a good kid.
I'm not a kid. He just grunts at that. He is the old man, and I must look like a kid to him with his age and experience.
I guess 50 then is starting to sound a little bit like. I wonder if they're really just being like, yeah, 50 is basically older, but also, so you guys, here's the good thing to figure out. What does your year cycle look like for your planet?
That kind
in
of thing
regards
too.
to rotation and where it goes around on the suns, because different planets have different rotations and how long it takes them to have the yearly orbit, basically.
Yeah,
so their years could be huge.
Wildly
50
different.
years could be astronomical amounts of time. We
Compared
have
to
no idea.
us, or if their planet is extremely warm, it's closer. It could be shorter than us.
It could be.
I would say depending. I was gonna say, but yeah, that's an interesting prospect. But again, he's got to be older than 50 because that's how long he's had this job, which is fascinating.
Right.
He just grunts at that. I must look like a kid with his age experience. But thanks. I just want to help with what I can. He grunts again. It's not like him to say something so mushy. He must be really stressed. I have noticed that sometimes. Sometimes when your bosses get really stressed, or the people in charge, they really are just like, I'm going to try and support you because I want support kind of thing.
Or also, it's like, any support you give me is fucking amazing.
And it's basically, I assume you need support as well because I'm so stressed.
Right.
I'm cold. Put on a sweater. You know?
Pretty
Right.
much.
He grunts again. So mushy.
You're a hard worker and you care about other people. That's important. Don't let anyone tell you otherwise. You're a good kid.
I can't fight back a grin at that. I love how we smile involuntarily. It's
Uh-huh.
very cute. And it's none of that like aggressive, mushy, panting, romantic, my heart skips a beat. It's just smiling. It's nice. Thanks, boss. My boss wraps salt at a ferocious rate, swiftly adding to the pile. But regardless of our addition to the worker line, we're a bit behind schedule. By the time my boss hands over my bundle and the route notes, we're a bit behind schedule and the route notes for the day. There's people waiting behind me too. It's peppered with ticks and checks to mark which houses need specialty salt.
Dang.
Today's route is going to be tricky. Don't give anyone the wrong order now, you hear?
I'll be careful, boss. I'll read the notes.
I swear.
I tie the bundle over my shoulder. It is heavy, and turn towards the door. I'll get going. Good luck here. I support you back at the factory.
You can do it.
Be careful.
I give him a little wave and turn towards the door. I return my mask, which
I
isn't
imagine
necessary. Actually, so again, I've talked about how in some games they need to have an establishing shot and then you don't have to say it anymore. So like we didn't mention putting the toss off our face today or giving the mask back, but since they've been mentioned, we can assume they're happening.
Right.
And there's so many of these games that we've played like on our channel where they never make an establishing shot and then later they talk about these things happening. So I'm really liking this so far in that aspect.
Right.
It's necessary to start my route at a brisk walk to keep my legs from cramping up later on, but I ramp up pretty quickly into a trot, then a light gallop. I do need to pace myself to avoid tiring myself out early on, though. Today is going to be a bit exhausting, for sure, but the thought of getting everyone their special salt to celebrate the upcoming eclipse keeps me going. I hope a lot of people are going to be happy. Here you go.
Thanks, man.
Thanks, man.
Thanks,
Gurgy. I love Gurgy. Gurgery. Gurgery is just such a good name. It's Gurgery.
Gurgery
It's
is
good.
adorable.
I think most people can immediately tell that I'm in a bit of a rush. I feel bad for not stopping to chat with people, but it can't be helped today. Even with the fast clip I'm moving at, I'm already a little behind schedule. My feet slip a little as I round a corner too quickly, and I have to dig my claws into the ground to keep from falling over and bump into someone. At least I'll be able to unload a good deal of my cargo at Yiestol's office.
Good.
The office is a bit busier than usual when I open the door to step in. The workers murmur quietly amongst themselves, heads together, hands shuffling about papers. It's usually almost silent in here to help Yiestol concentrate, so any noise feels out of the norm. I did notice the eyeballs on the spire outside swiveling around frantically as I walked up. There must be a lot going on.
Oh no. What's up?
I also like the fact that this is probably the pod in the corner that he gets out of.
Yeah, that's right.
Like, so it's actually illustrated, which is kind of neat.
Right.
Sure enough, when Yiestol disengages from the pod and strides over to me, he looks tired. Despite the slick of fluids, his exoskeleton is slightly lacking its usual luster, and he blinks more often, running his fingers through his hair. I had forgotten he had hair. Hi.
Good morning, Vil.
Morning, Yiestol. Are you holding up all right? Yiestol smiles.
I'll be fine, thanks. It's just been a bit busy. There were a few incidents last night, so I had to stay up to take care of them.
Oh, you're tired. He talks as he leads the way towards the side table where I can set out today's salt delivery.
I have to admit, even if I knew the eclipse would be hectic, I didn't expect things to ramp up so quickly.
I'm still thinking about the salt vats and the punishment salt, and my brain is just like, they have to, on people who don't have it, peel away flesh to make the salt hurt. And I'm like, how? His narrow chest rises, then slowly sinks back in as he looks towards his open pod. Without a controller, the pod lies dormant, its eyes closed and folds of flesh quivering to a stop.
It seems everyone's excited to make big, life-changing decisions during the eclipse. But with that excitement comes a lack of judgment in some people. There's been more trouble in general.
Aye, yes. Yiestol sighs again. I can see a sliver of sharp teeth past the thin gap between his lips. There it is.
The previous overlook did warn me that eclipses would be hard, but I might have underestimated it a little.
I definitely have not done eclipse. I give a sympathetic nod as I quickly undo the fabric of my delivery pack so I can line up the salt packets. Today's list of delivery notes is longer than usual. The paper unfolds into a long sheet when I pull it out of my pocket, and I look over it carefully as I begin counting out salt packets. I also like in here that our prototype isn't a blank slate.
Right.
That they do seem to be clearly a character that has ideas and preferences and interests and stuff, which is nice, as well as that we also get to influence them, and then that they agree with us and take that as like a defining moment of, there's nothing that can bring down his enthusiasm kind of thing.
Right, absolutely.
I still like the framing of this. This is your first eclipse, right?
That's right. At least I had plenty of time to get used to the job before I came. I heard my predecessor was barely a decade into the job before his first eclipse.
I see. We're
Shit,
talking
that sounds like that
long.
sucked.
Whoa. He still laughs. It's a soft, chittering noise, like a cluster of birds, and I can't help but smile in reflex. That sounds very charming, and I kind of love it. I can only imagine how hard that must have been.
Oh, yes. He never stopped telling me about how difficult that was.
A sink or swim, and he swam, but it sucked. Yiestol's fingers are long and delicate as he double-checks my counting, making sure there's the right number of each type of salt. Tan for normal, white for mercury, yellow for honey, red for punishment. The office doesn't usually get such a wide variety of salts, but the eclipse merits some splurging, I guess.
I thought everyone deserves a little something nice for the eclipse.
Huh? It's like he can read my mind. Huh. He runs his fingers over the stacks of salt packets. That sort of thing of just one finger.
That's right.
It's an awfully special time, so I put in a little effort and found the funds for some specialty salt. They'll go to people who have been having hard times as a sort of good luck charm.
I feel
He's
like
really sweet.
he is
honestly.
very sweet. I really do. And I also feel like he really does want the best for people. Sort of like when he does call dispatch, that his intention is to handle things thoughtfully and to also get on things before they escalate, so that like no punishment is required kind of thing. That's why he's so attentive, it sounds like. Anyway, like him.
I do too.
I'm sure it'll be really appreciated. It does sound like a mirror of yesterday's conversation, though, in kind of a charming but also sort of way that when you're around Christmas, that's all you can talk about.
Right.
I look up from my note to give him a smile. Hi. He blinks before smiling back. His teeth are really white. We're just like, I admire you, sir. This is adorable.
I'm glad you think so.
Oh no, he does have purple. I think it's really hard to see, but I think his name is actually purple.
I
couldn't
know.
tell.
It's hard to tell with the background, so I don't know if the names are colored or not.
I think his is.
But his is a little different color than text for sure. It might be a little bit purplish. On the other hand, he does have that slight purplish to him.
It's true.
I'd like to help as many people as possible, to make this eclipse safe and enjoyable for as many people as possible, even if I have to spend every waking moment in the Overlook pod.
Aww. You already do so much for the community, though. Yiestol looks at me when I speak up, and I smile at him. I'm not very good at being reassuring, but I do my best. Is that the reassuring words? I also going this is a good thing to say, yes? I've heard people talk about how things have become really peaceful since you became Overlook. Yes. So don't worry too much. As long as you do your best, I'm sure it's plenty. Yiestol's hair rustles as he cants his head. Oh, I haven't heard that in so long.
Oh, wow.
He just, cant to the side. He just tips it off to the side. He seems to be considering what I said. I'm rooting for you, all right?
Oh.
So let me know if there's anything I can do for you.
Oh.
Though he remains silent, Yiestol blinks, like he's just realizing something. Oh dear, is he gonna ask? I should head off then. Wouldn't want to eat up too much of your time either. I've double-checked to make sure I've set out all the salt Yiestol requested. So I pick up my pack and tie it back over my shoulder. But as I'm tying the knot, Yiestol suddenly draws a little closer, just one pace away from me. He's tall enough that I have to raise my head a little to look into his eyes. He's looking down at me with clear focus. All right, imagine this, where we've got our 4 legs and we've got our 2 arms, and then we have this sort of like longish neck, but we have sort of a shorter build. And so we normally sort of hunch down because it's efficient. So we raise up that longer neck and look him straight in the eyes kind of thing.
Be
Like,
cute.
Vil,
Yes?
I know you're busy with your route, but if it's possible, could you spare a few more minutes to speak with me?
There's so much of this that just sounds very cute. And I'm hoping it stays that way. There's an unusual gravity to his voice. Yiestol is usually light and airy. Everything about him feels unobtrusive and soft. But right now, there's a clear point to his words, and his back's held straighter. Even if his gaze is gentle and his face is relaxed, I can tell from the tension of his shoulders and the way he holds himself that he's serious.
Oh dear.
I can't help casting a brief glance towards the door, though, because I also have a very busy day. My schedule's still pretty busy today, and I can't spare that much extra time, especially since I should try to stay a little ahead of schedule, in case I hit any roadblocks or cause for delay later down the line. This is going to be a choice.
All
Do
right.
you want to spend time with this character?
Okay, guys,
or not?
question, because I'm pretty sure we're going to start doing this. What do you guys think? Should we spend time with Yiestol? Like, we'll
I don't know.
get there.
Let's see how the question is phrased.
Right.
But still, I get the sense that this might be something very important for Yiestol. Even if I stay to speak with him, I should be able to manage all of my other deliveries, as long as I move quickly and don't waste any more time. What should I do? Gonna ask yourself
right.
just straight out.
What are we
Like,
gonna do?
here we
What are
go.
we gonna do? What are we gonna do?
All right, it's okay. We got this.
All right. So what
Stay
should
and talk
I
to
do?
Yiestol. Apologize and get going. I honestly feel like the level of description of going, we know him very well, this is very unusual behavior for him, and while I really want to stay ahead of schedule, this is a remarkable event, the eclipse. So while it is important to stay ahead of schedule, it's also important to, we just offered to help. Maybe this is him taking us up on that.
It's true.
So
and
I feel
also,
like
maybe it has some connection to do with the person yesterday who got punished.
Yeah, I think we're going to do talk. Like I think that feels like we'd be a little bit hesitant about it, but I think we totally like Phil would go for it.
Okay.
All right, so we're gonna stay and talk to Yiestol. I want to go on one of our first route with Doggo. Yeah, as I say, this is tough. They're more diverse than a lot of dating games, which makes it more interesting. All right, so we're gonna stay and talk to Yiestol. We're gonna see how it is.
We're gonna do the talk because I think it's 1 and 1. So we got it.
We got one vote.
Okay.
All right, here we go.
Stay and talk.
I think it would be best to listen to what Yiestol has to say. Hopefully it won't take too long.
Right.
Also, though, he seems very respectful of our time, and so I don't think it will take longer than necessary, so I'm going to take that into account anyways. Ultimately, I can't bring myself to just leave. Not when Yiestol's making such a personal request of me. He's usually so composed and calm that it feels easy to forget that. Beneath it all, he's another individual with his own worries and struggles. Again, I admire the shit out of your professionalism in all ways. If he's asking me to stay, there must be a good reason for it. And it would bother me for a long time if I abandoned him like this.
Honestly, like, I'm not kidding. I'm actually really interested in pretty much all of the characters.
I know, I would love to see all of these routes.
That's why I'm really excited to actually go play the other stuff. Because I'll
Okay.
be like, ha, nothing for you guys. I mean, maybe we'll do more. I don't know.
You know-
We'll have to see. It could be interesting.
I wish we could bring a little more visibility to these games, honestly, because it seems like both this one and Who Killed My Father Academy have gotten very little attention, and both of them we've been thrilled by so far. Obviously, we have have less of a sample size of this one, but having finished Who Killed My Father, this is, it's really cool.
Yeah, it's
Anyway,
a lot of fun.
hidden sleeper games will help.
Ooh.
Alright, if I abandon him like this. And I do have confidence in my running. After all, I'm sure I should be able to finish my deliveries on time, even if I stay here for a little while.
Okay.
Alright. I give Yiestol a smile as I undo the ties to my pack, lowering it once more. Very professional. You don't have your work harness on when you're doing something else.
Right.
Damn. I think I should be alright to stay for a little bit. Yiestol blinks, hesitating for a moment before speaking up again. He sounds slightly guilty. See, he does respect our time. He knows that we have a thing.
Are you sure, Vil?
I
I know this must sound ridiculous since I'm the one who asked you to stay, but I still wouldn't want to cause you too much trouble if your schedule today is tight.
Oh, witnessing this sort of uncertainty is something
In
someone usually so unflappable is an odd feeling. I nod, considering what to say. I won't be late. It's no big deal. I think I won't be late matches the level of professionalism that we've been developing,
Sure.
as well as his concern of going, you aren't hindering.
And also, Vil is definitely like, I will also be professional. I respect this thing. Anyway, even it's just like, not just matching him, but Vil going, that sounds more like them. So,
And less than doing like a little bit, like, it can be very dismissive sometimes to say, it's no big deal. Whereas sometimes no big deal is like, it's fine. Other times it's like, this is no big deal. And so, yeah, don't worry. I'm sure I can maintain my schedule. Besides, I think it might not be a bad idea to rest up a little bit before resuming my route. I tend to take more breaks earlier on in the day when my pack is heavier.
I see.
Him. Oh, I did not consider such a thing.
right.
And love how they chose to do his eyes.
It's pretty good, actually.
It's only after he mutters that confirmation that Yiestol gives a small sigh, his shoulders sloping downward as he releases some of that tension in his body. The stiff strands of his hair rustle against each other as he dips his head slightly, seeming to nod to himself before he looks to me once more. There's the gleam of his teeth as he grins at me.
Thank you. I really appreciate it.
His voice is warm. I'm also imagining that his legs are just like his arms, where the red starts to bleed in, and going, you probably have really cool feet.
I imagine he does.
His voice is warm, warmer than usual. I feel a spot of heat bloom in my chest, spreading to the base of my throat, and I have to swallow it back. The Urus?
I have to admit, the past few days have been incredibly hectic, and they've been taking their toll on me. But it's hard to justify taking a break by myself when there's so much to keep an eye on.
Oh, my goodness, he's asking us to stay so he has a reason to take a break. So he can justify his own rest period because I'm doing something.
That's
rather than
harsh.
just taking care of me. That is, I understand that experience and I feel you. But also, yeah, a little rough. There's a pause before he seems to realize what he said and laughs, embarrassed. His long, bony fingers draw graceful arcs as he waves a hand.
Not that I'm just using you as an excuse to rest. Of course, I do have something I want to speak to you about.
But I picked now because it lines up. It really... Okay, so I have to say that I've been accused as a friend of basically lining up chores and hanging out all the time, like double dutying my life. And the thing is I do. All the time, because it makes it easier for me to like get those things done, but also to justify hanging out with the people I want to hang out with.
And also in that way, I think it is also like an emotional support behavior, basically, kind of thing. You're trying to basically balance yourself, going, I want to accomplish my interests and my thing, and having you here helps balance out these things that maybe I'm not so excited about.
There's a little bit of both, but for me, I definitely am the type that does sort of that, basically the unhealthy work focus. Like I've done workaholic behavior in the past a lot because it's simple. It keeps life simple.
Yeah.
I would say, and there's this experience of going, if I want to sort of treat myself by hanging out with someone I even want to, it needs to be combined with some kind of work so I can justify it for myself.
Right.
Let's change locations, shall we? I wouldn't want to disturb the others while they're still working.
The other workers have been diligently toiling away at their tasks, shuffling papers and jotting down notes. Some speak quietly into communication bladders, the bladder tubes pulsing as they carry important messages off to their recipients. One worker looks up and gives a curt nod upon meeting Yiestol's eyes. They promptly return to rifling through a tall pile of papers. This is really a dispatch office. That's amazing.
Let's go up to the roof. Shall we?
Oh, we're gonna see the eyes.
Oh, I want to see it in more
Oh my
detail.
God.
Yes.
Yes, this will be cool as hell.
Sure. As we pass by the other workers at their desks, Yiestol gently touches one on the shoulder and leans in close, presumably to tell him where we'll be. The worker nods in understanding before promptly returning to their task. Oh, here we are!
Here we are!
Yiestol ends up leading us out the door at the back of the office. It opens up to an external stairway that crawls upwards. I love the idea of it actually being a moving living stairway.
Yeah.
Like it's your escalator that's actually crawling. That makes me happy.
Yes.
I think the language choice is deliberate, whether it crawls or not, to give you the ability to interpret, but that charms me. Tracing along the contours of the building, even this far down, veins and nerves from the overlooked spire curl around the stairwell's guardrail, gently twitching whenever the wind picks up. The spire itself is calm. However, the myriad eyes half closed and shifting their gaze languidly. The overlooked tower seems to be operating automatically for the moment.
Oh, hiding text. Let's see what it looks like.
Oh, look at
Look at that. And you got your 3
You've got your 3 suns that are all there.
Yeah.
And then you have, the spires and the flesh on your various
That
buildings.
looks so cool.
Pretty good view of the city. Yeah, this is great.
I love it. It's really neat.
Good stuff. All right.
It's half awake right now.
Hey. Yiestol must have noticed me looking up curiously. I think I've never been up here before.
Angle change.
I have to
Super
say,
cool.
there is a change of posture and such, and that's great. He looks great, by the way.
He does.
This is very cool.
It's not as alert as when I'm in the body, of course, but even I need to take breaks now and then, and we can't just leave the streets completely unwatched. So the towers evolved to have a half-awake state. They are alive.
That is cool as hell.
That is great, and it's just been slowly learning to be a little more self-sufficient and understand its duties. That's great.
Only half of the eyes are active, and it can't differentiate between good and bad activity without them. It just automatically alerts us when it spots an unusual amount of movement anywhere. But still, it's better than nothing, and I'm grateful I can take quick breaks without feeling like I've left my post completely unattended.
Poor thing. He just sounds like he's but it's so important community thing. I have to put all of my energy into it.
Tired.
I do love your fingers. They're very nice.
A great hands.
Also, the whole little 3 fingers thing, it's great. But I was I do love that it can actually just do an alert if there's a cluster of movement, and then people can just sort of check it out. It's very basic, but that's neat.
Right.
We've been steadily heading up the stairs. Each time Yiestol takes a step, the pointed tip of his leg hits the stair with a metallic ping. His movements are graceful and calm. Oh, does he have those spike legs?
I don't know.
Like the cool little spike legs they do in some of the horror games?
I'm not sure.
No shoes for you.
Aha.
They always are. Everything about Yiestol always seems graceful and calm. I can't help wondering how he does it. It must just be in his nature, and I really admire him for it. Aww.
So,
I can't help wondering how he does it. I think because that really feels like where I've been feeling. I admire him for how hard he works and stuff like that. But it really is, I can't help wondering how he does it. You're so composed, and yet you have so much going on.
right.
Sometimes I can't help wondering how anyone can seem so put together. It must be hard. It slips out before I can catch myself. And I feel my face grow hot when Yiestol gives me a curious look. You make it look easy, but it sounds like your job really asks a lot of you. I think it's amazing how well you're able to stay on top of things. There's a pause before Yiestol gives a nod. That is super cute. He smiles gently, looking up to gaze towards the spine.
I suppose it isn't easy, but I do my best. I'm glad if that seems to be enough.
The wind is stronger as soon as we clear the stairwell and step onto the rooftop. The jagged shapes of the city spread out before us. Some buildings loom tall, trailing veins and feathery strands of flesh that sway in the wind. I'm getting the gill pictures, like axolotl gills.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
And I love that. The whole feathery experience, anyway.
Reflecting
the green sunlight off damp spots. Others spread wide, covering entire blocks, like flat plains of bone-dry rock. The streets are full of people bustling about, no doubt busy, tending to pre-eclipse business. Even from up here, it's obvious that everyone's excited. There's a strange electric energy in the air. I also like, again, that we're still mentioning people. So there's so many of these games, especially like Yowie Beast Boys being one of the worst culprits,
Yeah.
that assume that you assume there's other people in the world,
Right.
but they never mention anyone ever at all. And it's
That's
really
so
nice
bad.
to know people like that. Like, we really like headcanoned that world as being like an apocalyptic state where only 3 people existed because it was so empty.
Yeah, it was wild.
It's an amazing view.
It's beautiful, isn't it?
Yiestol walks over to the edge of the roof near the spire. He lays a hand on it, and the flesh pulses gently against the touch of his fingers. The tower's eyes languidly scanning the horizon.
I come up here whenever I need a break. Looking at the city like this helps me regain my focus.
So I'm not inside of 1,000 eyes at once, and just with my own.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, it makes sense that even someone like Yiestol would need a place to rest once in a while. And not talking to other people, like in a busy office environment, or not talking work when you're on a break, can be really nice.
Right.
I have irritated people at so many jobs when they're like, it's break time. And if they talk to me, all I talk about is work. Because I'm like, I'm at work.
What do?
He slowly takes a seat at the edge of the building, then beckons me over. So I oblige, trotting over and taking a seat beside him. I love that he's like perched up on the edge and we're sitting down like on all fours kind of thing. Like the dog sit, but with our hands up, you know, up where he is and stuff.
Right.
I kind of love that visual. Trotting over and taking a seat beside him, legs dangling over the edge. A stiff breeze blows past us, and I'm suddenly much more aware of how high up we are. I don't think I'm particularly afraid of heights, but I still feel a small thrill chase down my spine if I look down. My extremely long spine. Oh, he still doesn't seem afraid at all, though. Partially because he's used to being up this high, I imagine, but partially because he seems completely immersed in thought. I think also probably because he usually sees the city from an incredibly high vantage point, but from a state of like no other awareness, you know?
Yeah.
The green of the sun washes over us as he gazes over the cityscape. His exoskeleton is beautifully glossy despite his exhaustion. Warm sunlight bouncing off the sharp angles of his cheeks and wiry strands of his hair. His teeth are very white when he finally opens his mouth to speak. Pausing for a moment, he finally forms words. I'm excited to hear our protag describe everyone. Like, I love the way they describe people. Like, there is a certain level of, like, he is very, very pretty that's going on here, but, like, the whole wagging of the tails and the fluffiness and the fuzziness of the bees, like, I love the way this protag describes things.
It's really charming. Also, like,
I wanted to speak to you about a hypothetical situation.
Oh, this sounds very shy.
Oh,
extremely
super
shy.
hypothetical.
A hypothetical situation.
Yes, a hypothetical.
We need to make sure that we all know it's just hypothetical.
Hypothetical.
So everyone, hashtag
Panics.
completely hypothetical.
Gay
Panic. Hashtag hypothetical panic. He's curiously specific about that. Hypothetical. But I keep that observation to myself and only nod. Sure, I don't know how helpful I can be, but I'm always happy to try. Yiestol nods in response, rummaging over his
Ruminating.
Ruminating over his thoughts for a moment longer before speaking.
Let's say you have the chance to help a lot of people. However, it comes at a cost. You need to give up something very important to yourself in order to help those people. There is nobody forcing you to do it. There is no punishment if you don't help those people, and nobody will chastise you for not wanting to pay that price. It is purely your decision whether to pay the price and help those people. What do you think you would do, Bill?
Oh, it's a tough question, partly because it's vague, but I understand how these things work. Yiestol doesn't look at me, his gaze still directed over the cityscape, and I try to see what he's seeing as I think that question over, and I suggest that perhaps they should have more people trained on the Overwatch Tower and have shifts. Oh, how should I answer? That's a scary question. What would that price be? Would the help be significant? About being helpful. Yes.
Yeah.
I also sacrificing something you really care about. If we're going straight on dating doki dokis, we could be like, I would have to sacrifice dating you on the night of the eclipse, or at least even asking to be watching.
Right.
But watching would be so helpful because it's such an important night. I don't think it's that simple at all.
I don't think so either.
And I kind of love that it's not that simple, but it kind of charms me. We still have a job, right? Yes, we do. Let's see. We haven't really been cost reward throughout here at all. But I think we would want to engage. So since our only options to engage without going cost reward would be, would the help be significant? Sort of like, what is it? Like both of those seem like cost reward though, but the other one is I back away from the question.
Yeah,
So, but we do seem like we really want to genuinely help people.
Yeah.
So I think we're interested in help. Would the help be significant is what we're going to try.
Alright, let's give it a shot then.
Unless you think otherwise. It does allow us to go back.
And it does.
Even if I think the matter over, it's hard to get a solid answer without a better idea of how significant the help is. Or basically, a clearer picture of what's going on. Well, it might depend on how helpful I'd be after paying that price. Oh, that's so good. Can I continue to provide help? So I have yelled at Deku, like at the actual screen of Boku no Hero Academia for being reckless.
Right.
Not to mention All Might of going, if you spend everything now, you will not be able to help in the future. And while I appreciate this one moment is a big goddamn deal, you will, if you can't help in the future, you're going to sacrifice a whole lot more.
I was about to say, yeah, you run the risk of basically burning yourself out and being completely useless for anything else, which is actually one of the things they talk about in regards to people with their jobs, of don't burn yourself out, because it like, you still have more things to do, you know, even just for yourself. Yeah. Whether it's going and enjoying your own life and having fun with the things you enjoy doing. Yeah. Breaking your back on this isn't going to save you.
And if you do break your back, you then can't do it anymore.
I know, huh?
So, if I'd be helpful, how helpful I'd be after paying that price. I want to be helpful to people, of course, but even helping people on a regular basis takes some amount of time and energy. So it is resource management rather than cost and benefit, which I think is important.
Right.
I think. So it's a little hard to imagine what kind of help would be worth paying a significant cost for, where you might not be able to help in the future.
Right.
Yiestol nods slowly in response, still looking out over the city. His voice is a quiet murmur when he responds. I do like the idea that we thought of it from a very specific angle, though, because rather than this being a case of the game thinks of it from a very specific angle and tells us what happens, it is us going, this is what this sounds like to me. You know?
Yes, of course. Then, let me try putting it in a slightly different way.
Okay, I have to say that I love his middle eye, that it can blink from either side and also to the middle, because there really has been expressions where he's closed it slightly from one side or slightly from the other, or both sides, and that just charms the hell out of me.
Right, it's really good, actually.
It's also a lot of, like, interesting expression. Whenever I've played aliens in role-playing, or really inhuman creatures, there's always a level of thinking about what kinds of expressions they would make, because it's not going to be human expressions or human like emotiveness, because they don't have human anatomy to emote in the same way.
Right.
And so I always charms me when people think about the other anatomy. Still hypothetical.
Still hypothetical.
That face. He still seems slightly amused by that clarification, eyes narrowed in a thin smile.
Would you, hypothetically speaking,
as my voice runs away,
you could do this.
And hypothetically speaking, like to be a better person, yes?
I nod, of course. I think everybody probably wants to be a better person. Be the best beastman you can be.
Right?
Oh, if possible.
And let's say there's a way for you to objectively become a better version of yourself. Not in a nebulous, vague way. Won't be that you'll be wiser or with more experience or more thoughtful. You'll objectively become a better version of what you are now. An upgrade, if you will.
Okay, so...
Okay, now I'm getting vibes of... Go ahead.
What was yours?
I'm getting vibes of, if I fuse with the pod, I can watch all the time, but I lose my mobility. Like, I can literally upgrade to be better at this job, but become super specialized.
I was going exactly in that same...
And if I become super specialized,
way,
then I might lose the ability to... Then I will lose a lot of what I love about the rest of my life. But I can help so many people. This got deep. And I don't know if that's where he's going, but that's what that sounds like to me. Especially there's some level of like visual coding as well, in reference to you look a little bit like carapace, which can also be like chrysalis kind of thing.
Right.
And going, ugh. Okay, Deku broke all the bones in my arms. Useless. Don't worry, young Midori. Use the rest of your power. Legs. You have legs. I know, but it was so bad when it happened.
Deku though came up with that on his own.
He really did. He's
But
like, I will do the leg thing. It's like, breaking more parts of your body different parts of your body doesn't solve the problem.
And All Might was like, brilliant. And you're like, fucking no.
I will break different parts of my body.
Like both of you.
I will throw you off a cliff.
It's fine. Both of you.
Sacrificing morons.
That's it. You know those huge inflatable sumo suits? The ones that, you put on and they blow up so you look like a sumo wrestler, like the inflatable dinosaur?
Right.
Both of you get to be wrapped in one of those, but like a high-density support item so you can stop breaking yourself.
God, right?
Done. You just won't be cute anymore. You'll be giant and chubby and round. Or I guess hot anymore. You'll be cute now.
I adore.
All right.
Do you think you would want
Yes? No. Maybe. Ugh. If it's what I'm thinking of, I think we'd be in the maybe camp. It's so vague.
I was about to say, maybe
it's
is where
so
I was
vague.
going to.
It's the maybe.
Dang, this is intense.
Like, conceptually, I want part of it, but also going in the level of, we know where we live. We assume that our main character is familiar with our world, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that we know that given the fleshy malleability of everything, whether or not people actually can physically change. So we would have an idea if he's speaking in literal, theoretical terms at all.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, he really did.
You're like,
Head
God,
is a leg, arm, finger, point. All right, I would say maybe. I'm solidly in the maybe camp of going, I may have considered things like that too if they'd come up, but that might be a higher job station of going, if you're in a better role, like in a more fancier job, you might get bigger offers.
yeah, right?
To just specialize the shit out of yourself.
All right. Well, let's try a solid maybe.
Solid maybe. Hard maybe. I hesitate before answering. You bet I do. You know what would be fun? You know what would be hilarious? And I've talked about this before. If any of these games had a built-in timer, where depending on how long you take to answer, it'll have a different little qualifier for it. So if you answer quickly, it might not say anything, or it might say "I blurt out,"
Right.
because you answered so fast.
You're like, I got it.
And it would be hilarious. Or if you pause the player, in some places it really will say "I hesitate before answering," based on your actions. I think that would be a really fun thing to have.
Right.
I don't know if the engine supports it, but I'm for it. I'm not sure. It sounds like it might be good, but it's also hard to imagine.
It's so hard. Such hard.
And I think something like that might have a downside to it. I mean, he did say a sacrifice.
Yeah.
I need to think it over carefully, and I would recommend anyone else do as well.
Fair point. Then, building on that same scenario.
Yiestol turns to look at me. The sunlight glimmers off the metallic strands of his hair, highlighting the sharp angles of his eyelids. And I find myself sitting up straighter. All of my focus is on considering his words. This feels like something important to him, so I want to consider it with the gravity it deserves. He thinks of us as being thoughtful and careful, and so he's asking us our opinion. This is neat.
Let's say you can make that improvement. You are guaranteed that it will make you better, and you'll be better at your job. Everyone will admire you for it. There are practically no downsides to this improvement itself. But your relationship to someone you value will change drastically, and it can't be changed back.
I think it is.
Yeah, you're talking about
solidly
merging
you
with
would
the
get
system.
turned into basically part of the pod, and you would still be an autonomous person, but you couldn't walk around anymore. Oh, damn.
Baby.
Baby, that is
Not-
I'm going to recommend again shifts. More overseers.
Right?
Aye.
Not broken, mind you. You still have a close relationship with that person, but it will be different. How do you feel about that?
I'm now feeling if he does this choice, that's where the vor comes from, because you would enter the pod.
Oh, maybe.
That would be my guess as well. The fact that there's vor in here means I'm watching for it.
I know, we're looking for more.
We have our vor scope up and we are looking.
Which is amazing, because I never thought you were really into it.
I'm not.
Oh, it's just interesting, basically.
I'm just
where is it?
curious
Yeah.
where they're going to put it in. I have no interest in vor other than I have interest in character and people. So, shrug.
Yeah, that's true.
Being someone who is incredibly, like, sometimes even to myself, surprisingly demisexual, I really am just interested in people's relationships really hard.
Mm-hmm.
So, let's see. It's hard to answer immediately. Mixed emotions tickle through my head, and I need to filter through them. A significant part of me wants to better myself, of course, but I also value my relationships with people, and I like to run.
It's a tough question, isn't it?
It is. Yiestol's eyes are narrow. His expression gentle as he studies my face. The music in here is really reminiscent of that other game as well.
Yeah.
Like, it's not only the visuals, it's also the music.
Yeah, absolutely. sorry, I know it's a strange hypothetical to spring on anyone, but I value your opinion. I'd really appreciate it if you tell me your honest thoughts about it.
I can sort of understand what Yiestol's getting at. If I try hard enough, I repeat his words in my head, ruminating over each one. Well, becoming an unequivocally better person at the cost of a changed relationship. How do I feel about that?
Oh, damn.
Let's see. I don't think it would be worth it. It would depend on how the relationship changes. I think it might be worth considering. Honestly, for myself and for Vil, even as, like, I'm trying not to metagame here.
Right.
And go, I think this, we might, you know, there might be an experience for this person, you know, that would be challenging. On the other hand, it would depend on how much you want to be a better person. What do you get back from this?
Well, that's also
and is it be a better person out there for society, or be a better person for you and your standards?
I was always about to say, though, it also might depend on how your relationship changes. If that's the big kicker, basically, of stopping you from doing the thing, going like, okay, so then that is something to go. It would depend on how your relationship changes, because that is your crux of your thing, your relationship. I want this thing. I also want to do this thing because I'm really into basically helping people and doing my job, and I like being successful. But this thing here means a lot to me.
I don't know. I feel like that sort of thing of it might be worth considering, but because it's not definite. It might be worth thinking about because of your own values. And the way I would put it if it were me would be putting it back on them, going, you need to weigh what you want. Not only what you think is the empirical good of society or of the large picture. Like, if you're thinking about, hi, Fuckworth, I care about relationships. Yes, relationships are important as hell.
Well,
on the other hand, relationships change all the time. And sometimes it's just important to think about how they change. Change isn't always bad. Sometimes change is good, because sometimes you're going from, like, friends to dating, and there's a change.
That is why I'm also saying, for me, I would go with it would depend on how the relationship changes. Because as much as I see the whole thing, I think it might be worth considering. It's like, but you're already considering it, but you're hung up about the relationship.
Then
so
that might speak better to his thoughts. I think I like that, of like what he's bringing up as considering.
Because he's really stuck on the thing of going for this relationship.
All right,
but I'd be willing to sacrifice everything, if not this relationship. And I'm going like,
all right, well, we've also got a vote from the peanut gallery. We're going to go relationships.
Yeah, sure, why not?
It fits in line well enough with this character. We're good.
Yeah, I mean, because I think Bill even mentioned going, I would also really care, though, about the relationships with those people, which is why I'm saying, considering the relationship from even the character perspective, I think Vil also would care about that too. Going, also, I could change myself, but I still want to consider whatever those relationships are.
Yeah, no, it's a really good point. I like that. I would say, there is an experience also of going, Vil seems, well, much like an introvert, it also seems like they get all of their social from their job. And that's part of why they feel very content of going, I don't have to have a ton of people in my life in a way that drains me, because I can just have them in small, warm, effective doses out there in my job.
Right, okay,
you know?
So let's try that one.
All right, here we go. I wouldn't be able to turn down a situation like that immediately, but I wouldn't immediately say yes either. This feels like the gravity. I'm on the edge of my chair again. That really is a hard question. I don't know if I can really answer it. It's definitely something I've considered, but I need more information too. Changing the relationship I have with someone could potentially be pretty big, and I wouldn't do something like that without knowing more details, or without involving the other person.
Exactly,
knowing
more details.
Which is more details on one side or another. Wow.
That's why I'm like, engage more with the relationship. What actually is stopping you about this thing? Like, what's the hang up?
Yiestol's gaze remains fixed on you.
You value your relationships to other people a lot, don't you?
Don't you? The emphasis. Of course. I think it's of course.
And yeah.
I really feel like we're of course. Of course. I answer without hesitation, punctuating my words with a nod. Yiestol smiles at that, a thin crescent moon with sharp teeth visible past narrow lips.
I thought he would say that.
He gives a long sigh as he sits back, propping himself up on his arms as he gazes out over the city. Still, though he still looks a little as controlled and calm as ever. His posture seems more lax than usual. In conjunction with his pensive expression, it lends him a strange air of vulnerability, like he's struggling with something he's never struggled with before. Yiestol?
Yes?
I know you said that these are all hypothetical questions. Keep it hypothetical. Don't be suspicious. Don't be suspicious. But if you wanted to talk about anything I'd also be alright with it. I love that. That's a very soft approach. Like, I feel like this character really is just soft, like supportive and fairly open. It's neat.
Yes.
Alright, Yiestol cants his head. Gaze cast aside in thought. A breeze whips past us. I want the little head tilt. I know there's only so much you can do and graphics take time, but I want the little head tilt.
It'd be
Boink.
cute.
Be very charming. A breeze whizzed past us, sending whirly strands.
Wiry.
Wiry. I can do this.
Your
Strands of
hair
his hair floating up around him. They practically sparkle in the warm sunlight. He is metallic, isn't he?
Mm-hmm.
His voice is a little softer, almost blending into the distant buzz of the city as he murmurs.
You're very kind to ask me.
You're very kind to ask, Bill. No.
Thank you. I suppose I haven't been terribly subtle. It's true that there are things I've been thinking about very seriously.
This person does not sound like he makes decisions lightly, ever.
No.
Like, I am not impulsive. How do you stay calm? Because I consider everything thoughtfully and from a place of, basically awareness.
Right? Alas, we should be getting back to work, shouldn't we?
There's the gentle tap-tap of his feet against the rooftop as he rises. Two clear sounds like the knock of bone against rock. That's a great sound.
Mm-hmm.
His body is lithe and serpentine when he stretches his arms, fingers playing out wide for a second as he extends his limbs as far as they reach. Looking up at him from where I'm still sitting on the rooftop, I'm all the more aware of how this person, who's so important to the city's well-being, is also just a single individual, facing tremendous pressure. Yiestol exhales slowly. The system does have its challenges, I will say.
Oh,
The noise whistling past the sharp points of his teeth before he lowers his arms. His body language is graceful and casual once more as he reaches down to pat my shoulder. His fingers squeeze briefly before releasing. We stare up at him.
Let's head back in, shall we?
Of course. I climb to my feet and follow after him as he starts heading back down the stairwell and into the office. Yiestol doesn't say anything more as he leads the way down the stairwell. The breeze carries the sound of the city, filtering them past our ears. Thoughtful murmurs, someone's excited shout, the thump of running feet, pausing in my steps. I close my eyes and turn towards the endless expanse of buildings, but it's hard making out any individual sounds, even if I focus. All I know is that the city is abuzz with energy, excited for the eclipse. Things seem to be progressing smoothly, even with my drier attitude towards the eclipse. I find myself growing a little excited for the potential day that day holds. When I snap out of my reverie and hurry to catch up to Yiestol, he holds the office door open for me, smiling kindly as he ushers me inside first. He hold the door for us.
He be nice.
He do it. He hold the door.
Thank you so much for keeping my company, Bill. I truly appreciate it.
The subtle signs of worry and vulnerability he's shown while discussing those hypotheticals with me are gone, just like that. There's only the calm, collected, gentle Yiestol that I've always known, standing before me, holding out my pack.
Just getting a few minutes to relax and speak with you was incredibly refreshing. I'm grateful for your time.
I want to give him water.
But I do hope it didn't cause you too much trouble on your route.
That's yet to be seen. Oh, I mean, not at all. I give the most reassuring nod I can. It's a white lie in the sense that it didn't tighten my schedule. That it did tighten my schedule, but I'm fairly confident it won't cause me any issues. I can make this work out. I swiftly tie my pack over my shoulders once more, jostling it to make sure it's secure before turning towards the door. I'll be going now. I hope the rest of your day goes smoothly. Don't push yourself too hard, alright?
Alright.
Alright?
We'll be on. Of course. Take care, Phil.
It would probably be less strain on you too if you weren't, basically using a separate body to look into that one.
Right?
I imagine. Oof. Alright. Even a few of the other workers glance over.
It is workers.
I think it is workers.
Whoops, there was an error.
Even a few of the other workers glance over, giving me a brief wave. I return the gesture as I pull the door open. I do one last check of my pack as I step outside, and as the door closes behind me, I catch one last glimpse of Yiestol through the narrowing sliver of an opening. He meets my gaze and flashes me a smile, the corners of his eyes squinting, a look that feels like a genuine connection. That is cute. And then the door shuts. These little sounds. Pap! I wanted the sounds of his leg bones tapping on the pavement.
Me too.
I wanted it so hard.
Leggies.
A sizable part of me wants to linger. After all, I'm sure Yiestol had more to say. The topics he brought up felt far too specific and heavy to be mere hypotheticals, and it doesn't sit well with me to leave the subject hanging in the air. Additionally, something I want to add, I like that our character knows all of these characters and has known them for a while. There are so many dating games where it's you meet them right now, and all the rapport you build with them is what's happening during the screen time of the game and suggested sometimes off-screen events, which to me just doesn't feel like enough. Being able to build on a pre-established relationship, one that we can basically glark from context how it was and that it was positive and that there was, openness there, I like a lot.
Right.
So I'm going to put that in there for me. But still, both he and I have work to do. Too many people will be left troubled if we don't tend to our tasks. And so I turn away toward the street, taking a deep breath. The claws of my feet dig in as I take 1, 2 steps. My next steps come faster, my gait widening as my pace picks up. Then I ramp up into a gallop, the scenery around me smearing as I gather speed.
We are fast.
We are very fast. And again, we're going very far.
Whoa.
Like, I feel like this career job is covering great distances. My own worries can come later. For now, I need to focus. It wouldn't do to leave people without salt when such an important day is coming up.
Thanks for the delivery.
No problem.
Hey, you be careful now, alright?
Will do. Thanks. I have to hurry. I'm usually never this behind schedule. If I move quick, then I should still be able to finish all my deliveries before the end of the day and avoid getting to anyone late. But I can't really afford to delay anymore, which means we're going to have to turn down other people. I feel like telling us we're going to have to turn down other people.
I think that's what that was. No, but I wanted to talk to everybody.
I'm
actually really interested. This is really kind of interesting.
And we have to see the bees. We have to have time for bees.
Bees.
Bees. What about the bees? Also, I need to see the fluffy boy wagging his tail. It's very important. It's very important. My feet skid across the ground as I turn a corner, my claws raking deep furrows into the dirt as I straighten back up without dropping my pace. I love how fast we are. My next 2 clients are absent from their homes. As much as it pains me to say, that's good for me today. I quickly slot their salt packets into their boxes and resume running. I'll say hi to them on another day, when I have more time. I'm sure they'll also be busy. They're also busy with their own eclipse preparations. Distracted, trying to think of any other shortcuts I can take without skipping any spots on my route. I don't hear the sound of approaching footsteps. The instant I step into the park, and certainly don't expect a hefty bundle of fur and fangs to come bursting out of the foliage to my immediate left. Boof! Bill! The whole screen shaking, your dialogue goes away. This is such an intense boof. He just lumped us, I think.
He destroyed us.
I don't manage to stop quickly enough. We glomped him unintentionally. Neither does Brattan. He collides squarely into me, knocking us both into the grass.
Pupper!
That's adorable. We are running pieces of muscles. We are just muscle and run. We are amazing.
We are.
I was right. We are glorious. We're like, I am amazed. Also, I like better the cloak being wrapped around us in the illustration rather than draped over us. Because I originally wanted to comment on that a little bit of going, is that a cloak other than a wrap? But it would still be a cloak. You'd just apply it differently if you're running at these kinds of speeds.
Right.
I've always hated the cape cloaks that they use on 4-legged things because they don't do anything if they're moving fast.
They really don't.
Yep. Need it. All right. Onto the grass. I was waiting for you. You were? I gently push at Brattan's shoulders, so he'll get off of me. Not that this is a particularly terrible position to be in. Brattan's fur is quite soft. Yay! Soft boy! And clean today. He must have taken a shower after last night's exploring, and his body is very warm. But he's still heavy, and getting pressed into the grass for too long might make dirt seep through my pack and taint the salt. Professional, as always. Brattan moves back obligingly, clambering to his feet and holding his hand out so I can also stand. His hand is huge.
Oh no!
The pads of his paws squishy slightly. Beans! He has beans! He has finger beans and toe beans, and we are holding the beans as he helps us up. He is lovely. Slightly against my palm. You're still on your route, right? You were a little later than usual today. I was kind of worried I'd missed you. Yeah, I had something kind of important to take care of. I'll run with you. Oh, I love it. Yes, running friend. I love fluffy running friend. Thanks. I've never done this before. Oh, he's never done this before. Again, everyone respects our professionalism, so they have all picked up on the fact that our professionalism is very important to us. And instead of going, well, so there's this thing that happens in games, especially in dating games and also in romance stories. There's a trope that I don't like, where somebody basically goes, you would shirk your duties if I was important enough to you, rather than what he's doing of going, I recognize the importance of your duties and I will join you.
This dude is huge. I can read the lines.
Still,
oh my god.
It's not like I mind the company, and Brattan is in fantastic shape. Even as I run at a steady jog, he keeps up with me just by walking quickly. He is massive. All Might, watch out.
Yeah, big boy.
Big boy. I told you, Muriel. In another life.
Alright, fine.
See? I found something really interesting last night. This is so cute. So that's why he was waiting for me. He must have been really excited to tell someone. He must tell thing. What was it? I say, running. His little face is so adorable. I'm not sure. Huh? I say, almost missing a step, but good, and run. But I'm doing my best to figure it out. That sounds difficult. Thank you. Brattan looks around before he continues speaking, like he's making sure nobody else is around. Visibility is poor in the park anyway, so even if someone were eavesdropping, I'm not sure if he'd be able to stop them. Nonetheless. Spot them. Nonetheless, he looks satisfied that we're alone and continues. He's so excited that his voice is starting to get gravelly at the edges, like he's fighting back the urge to start barking. That's adorable. I think it's really important, you know?
It's really good.
Bark. I've never seen anything like it before. And I think it could change things. If it's what I think it might be, then this might be huge. I might go down in history as someone incredible. I could be the goodest, best boy. I like them soft, I like them big, I like them cute, I like them all, honestly. That's so great. Good job. Yes, thank you.
It's fun. You know,
So
it's
good.
totally fine to have favorites.
It is. It's also like, we are completely torn of, I cannot pick a favorite. I'm like, I like them all.
They're really good.
They're very good. They are, as also again, this is way harder because in a lot of other dating games, there's no established relationship at all. And we clearly know and are in good terms, like connected and comfortable with all these people. And I love that, even as it challenges my little brain.
It's
Bork. The Bork.
Yes,
We are working. I just so happy. I just
I like that bork.
imagine the wiggly enthusiasm
I like
in this
that
boy.
borks.
It's so hard.
I got
it's
that
very
borks.
good. All right. It's really excited to figure out more about it. He's so enthusiastic that it's infectious. I can't help smiling as I nod and run. I don't know much about exploring, but I hope it's something great.
I do.
You're always working really hard, and it'd be nice if people got a chance to really appreciate all the work you put into your child. Brattan beams, showing all of his teeth. He's just bounding along beside us. Wagging tail, happy open mouth.
You're like, you
I
are a
see it.
titan, you're huge.
You are just the biggest, cuddly, happy boy. It's great. We jog along in silence for a few moments. By the way, did you put in an order for any salt today? Brattan looks a little like he was startled out of his thoughts by that. His furs puffed out a little larger than usual. Oh my god, I'm sorry. His furs puffed out a little larger than usual. He just, whoo, I love that. The whole, I'm excited, I puff. What? Surprise? Whoo? Oh, yeah, I did. Would you like it now? Sure. I slow to a walk so I can fumble with my pack, carefully extracting one of the salt packets without dropping any of the others. I love how careful we are and that there's no tension around the pack. Like, I keep wanting to be afraid that we'll lose something or something like that, but this is nice.
I'm looking at this going, I feel like it's gonna go, I'm gonna assume that you got your regular, and he'll go, oh no, I actually got something else.
I got something different, we'll see. He's built like my dad. Oh, really?
Oh, that's super cool.
That's amazing. Giant dad wolf.
Big dad.
You might just want to date dads. Oh,
There's nothing wrong with dating dads.
it's true. I slow to a walk. Okay. Without dropping any others. Hey, here you go. Here you go. Hey, do you have a few moments to spare? I really don't. It's my turn to be caught off guard. Still holding out Brattan's packet, I give him a curious look. I want to show you something. He wants to show us the thing.
Oh dear.
Oh, he's so excited. He's drooling slightly. A thin string of spittle hanging from his jaw. It must be his discovery from the other day. Well, I feel a little bad, but I have to turn him down. I don't have that much time to spare after spending time with Yiestol too. Oh, sorry, Brattan. We lost the choice.
Yeah, we did.
No! All right, more reasons to play the game yourself. Things are kind of hectic today, so I have to hurry. Can we ask for a rain check? I want a rain check. Yes! Maybe I can meet you after my route's over?
Yes.
Rain check, rain check, rain check.
Oh, boo.
Oh, look at him. Brattan's ears have tilted down a smidge. The wagging of his tail slowing significantly. He's like, no, I want you
Yes,
to.
Dream Daddy. All right, we actually have that one on our wish list for like games that we would like people to buy for us if they would want us to play it.
It is.
It would be fun.
If they're not afraid that we're going to talk our way through 9,000 hours of Dream Daddy, we would like to play it at some
would
point.
be great.
All right. Tail snowing significantly. No, it's okay. Don't worry about it. I guess you're a little behind today.
I know. I'm very sorry, Palm. We can't. We chose.
No,
That's why I was afraid.
On the other hand, maybe the rain check will be good. Maybe the rain check will be great.
Ooh, rain check would be real nice.
Hi. No, it's, let's see, a little behind today, huh? He's pretending to be fine, but I can tell he's a little unhappy about this.
No, baby.
Are you sure? I'd be happy to come back here after I'm done delivering. I just don't want to keep anyone waiting. Brattan considers that for a moment before shaking his head, his tail wagging with gusto once more. I wonder if he had something cute set up and it won't be relevant after our shift.
It might not.
That would be adorable.
Dang!
Yeah, it's fine. On second thought, I guess I'm not sure if I'm supposed to be showing you. Anyway, so I'll check and come back later when you're not busy, and I'm sure we won't get into trouble for it. That'd be great. Thanks for the invitation, though, Brattan. I mean it. No problem.
Yay!
He's adorable.
Very cute.
He reaches out a massive paw, probably to clap it on my back, but he course corrects when he remembers I'm wearing the bundle over my shoulder and ruffles my hair instead. His claws are huge and sharp, but they graze against my brow, so it's very gentle. That's so cute. I will smack you on the or the salt, and just the re-maneuvering in the handshake, kind of thing. Whoop. I like you a lot, you know? He's more direct, it's very cute. If it were anyone else, I'd suspect this was a very well-constructed attempt to guilt-trip me, but Brattan isn't the type for anything like that, so I manage a smile as I gingerly duck out from under his paw. Honestly, I love that clarification of going, I know who he is and I'm not guessing at his motives. That just makes me really happy. Also makes me want to sort of feel more comfortable with the game writer and more comfortable as a reader. I like you a lot too. So I'll be looking forward to seeing your big discovery in the future. In the future. Sure thing. It's hard to do him quiet. His enthusiasm is so strong. The snick of damp ground underfoot gives way to firm rock bed as we near the edge of the park. Oh, yeah, here. I've still been holding Brattan's salt packet, and I'll hold it out to him. Right, thanks. Be careful on the rest of your route, all right? I hope his salt isn't wrong, because we didn't double check it.
I know, I'm actually having that.
What if it's wrong? Oh,
What if
no.
we did it wrong?
What if we gave the wrong one? Will do. I tighten the bundle over my shoulder to make sure it's firmly in place, then head off at a steady jog. Halfway down the block, I turn to glance over my shoulder. Sure enough, Brattan's still there, watching me, wagging his tail. Oh, I raise a hand to give him a brief wave, and he excitedly returns the gesture. He's like, are you going to look back at me? Are you going to look back?
You look back.
You turn around.
You look at yourself, boy.
Before finally turning and sinking into the foliage of the park. That's so cute. Some see if it works. Read Yes.
It's fine.
It's okay. Brattan can do super fluff. He'd be adorable.
I mean, let's just stay safe. It's alright.
No, I
Yes.
know, but I was just imagining
It's-
the ASMR experience and going, someone out there, if they were playing this game, they might ASMR for these characters. And
They
it could
might.
be adorable.
That would be real good.
It would be very cute. I can't help wondering what it was that Brattan wanted to show me. Part of me feels I may have missed something big. A little bit of a guilt trip, but I also like, again, like, I'm gonna say the level options, like for choosing things, and the game seems to make it very clear to you what to expect. Like, I haven't been surprised by this game at all in reference to our choices, which is nice. But for now, I have to focus on my job. My next delivery is a good few blocks away, so I turn the corner and ramp up into a speedy gallop. Foosh!
Here we go.
Oh, here you go. Yes, sir. Things have been a little hectic today.
And helped her, but I won't keep you. Be careful now.
Thanks. Have a nice day.
Haha.
Also, some of the ASMR is really cute. Like, we've looked at some of the different stuff, and some of it for just like, I will snuggle you and make you feel good after a hard day at work. Like, it feels like it's frustrating that it's completely one-sided to me, but it's so much warm, good intentioned enthusiasm. That
Right.
It's very cute.
Yeah.
I'm starting to get a little out of breath. I usually manage to do my entire route at a steady pace, but today has been a day of ups and downs. I've had to rush a lot more after that talk with Yiestol, and I can feel my legs starting to ache a little. Stretching. Must be stretching. I slow from a sprint to a jog, so I can go down my list of notes. I've finished most of my route now, with only a few more blocks to run, which is good. A quick glance up the sky confirms that the suns are starting to set already. The skies tinging their usual musty green. It's starting to get late, which means I'm cutting it a little close. The palpable tension in the air has been rising all day, too. There are more people hanging around the streets than usual, some rowdy and causing trouble, others pressed together in quiet intimacy. Oh, I don't think so if it's available on phones.
Yeah.
Because it's not an App Store game, it's an itch game.
Yeah, it's an itch.io game,
On
so
the other
it's
hand,
like Steam kind of.
I
in
say
that
a
way.
lot of those creators offer them on different platforms, so you might just go to the itch site for it and see if the creator offers different platforms.
Yeah, Google meeting in the flesh, and you might be able to actually find it elsewhere.
Yeah.
So, I don't know.
Because we didn't check the other formats when we looked it up, but it's super cute.
It's real nice.
And honestly, if it's not on iPhones, that might be part of why it's gotten a little less attention, you know?
Right.
Or just like on devices.
I was like, iPhones.
Not
no.
iPhones specifically, just on phones.
Phones in
All right.
general.
Rowdy, causing trouble. Others pressed together in quiet intimacy. I turn the corner to take a shortcut down a street and find my foot splashing into a puddle of red. I was confused for a second at my own brain. The metallic stench that lingers in the air is unmistakable, and it's cut through with a singular sting of salt.
Signature.
Thank you. Signature sting of salt. No doubt the remainings of
Remnants.
Thank you. I can do this.
You're
All right, we're gonna
having
turn
a time.
this way a little bit.
Okay.
Remnants of a punishment salt bath. Or multiple salt baths, possibly. The metal tubes are used for salt baths. Tend to leave behind dark rings of moisture on the ground. There are 2, 3 circles overlapping each other. I can't tell if it's the result of one tub being jostled around or multiple tubs used in quick succession. I move quickly past this site, both because I can't afford to loiter, but also because the combined smell of blood and salt is making me hungry. I haven't had a chance to take a break to eat anything today. We did forget our salt this morning in our excitement, didn't we?
Yeah.
I risk a brief glance back as I head down the street. I've left behind a trail of dark footprints, radiating out from the pool of blood, but faded with each step until they vanish. The puddle of blood is still there. It will seep into the ground eventually, leaving a dark stain for a while. Yep, that's the one. Exactly that name.
Meeting in the flesh.
You got it.
Flesh like your skin.
Yes, but not meeting like meat.
Yeah.
Oh.
which is what we thought it was for a bit.
And we're kind of like,
Yes.
All right, let's see. I risk, a brief glance back as I head down the street. Left a trail, leaving a dark stain. The blood was still there. It will seep into the ground eventually, leaving a dark stain for a while. Kind of like the eclipse, huh? A big happening that will leave an impression for quite a while. I'm not a very poetic person. I feel a little smug for thinking of a comparison like that. Going, my brain was smart. But I can't spare too much time for self-congratulatory nonsense. I drag my thoughts away from that drying puddle of blood and look back towards the street. Oh, it's Logan.
Have a nice day, Bill. I
Hi.
forgot the voice already. It's fine.
It's okay. Thanks. You too. It was a lot of voices in quick succession.
It really was.
Whoa.
Ooh,
Is
walking.
that our footies?
Yeah.
Time's getting awfully tight, but I should be able to finish my route on time if I keep up the pace. And I make the mistake of breathing a quiet sigh of relief to myself as I dash past a block of closed storefronts, closed for the eclipse, and round a corner quickly enough that my claws skid on the ground. I almost slam right into a bustling crowd that's loitering around, breathing a huge lungfuls of sweat. Sweet, honey-scented air.
Yeah, it does cost money. Like I said, I think it was like $2 US for us. Like, but we bought it as a part of a bundle a while ago.
We did.
So yeah.
And on the other hand, like, this thing is just, I mean, I don't want to ever say, well, some creators deserve money and some don't, but I feel like they worked for their money. I'm feeling very comfortable with this game.
Mm-hmm.
And on the other hand, I'm just like, I hate microtransactions, which is what a lot of the other ones count on. But it would be interesting if, like, smaller creators like this would be like, there's an ad model that would be sustainable for me, so that I could also do a free version with ads, you know?
Right.
What's going on? It's usually never this crowded. Hi. Sorry, excuse me. Passing through, trying to get around. Sorry, I have to get through here. I gingerly squeeze past a crowd of people. It turns out these people have formed a line that trails up from
Nyargh.
Thank you. I forgot how it was said. My name's Nyargh? No, Nyargh. Nyargh's bee store, but the line has grown tangled and messy, and as it trails out into the streets, getting past them is a struggle, and more than a few people shoot me dirty looks that I have to pacify by shifting the bundle on my shoulders and clarifying that I'm not cutting the line. I'm just here to make a delivery. Most grumble, but grudgingly let me through. A cluster of people blocks my path near the entrance, and I wait for a few people to finish their business and exit so I can slip in and then as the next customer enters. I check over my bundle while waiting, peeking through the folds of fabric to check how many more deliveries I have to make, although I lose count when I'm distracted by a conversation going on nearby. You've heard the rumors about the guy running the store, right?
I haven't. What do they say about him?
No, they say this guy sucks energy out of other people. I roll my eyes while my head's ducked. I haven't heard these rumors myself, but it sounds silly. I've never heard of anyone eating anything other than water and salt with additives, much less sucking the energy out of other people.
No way, that's so creepy.
Right, but it makes sense, doesn't it? With how gruff this guy usually is.
So mean. Oh yeah, he always feels kind of off, you know?
There is a little bit of, like, discrimination going on here, interestingly enough.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe that's why he has his store, you know, to lure in victims. It also could be the wealth disparity kind of thing, going, he's higher class, so we're going to find him suspicious.
Yeah.
The two of them laugh. Raucously?
Yeah, raucously.
Raucously. I just tighten my bundle across my shoulders and ignore whatever else they're saying. It's all nonsense. Nyargh shouldn't have to put up with this stuff. He's a good guy. Hopefully these idiots won't actually say this stuff to his face. Fortunately, a small cluster of excited customers exit the store the next moment, and I take the chance to slip inside, murmuring that I'm just here to make a delivery and I'll be out soon. Inside the store, I manage to weave my way past the crowds of people, looking at bees and finding Nyargh near the back of the store, where he mans the counter alone. Hi. He looks a little bit grumpy.
No.
All of his tentacles are hard at work, managing 6 different tasks at once, and his teeth are bared as he breathes in deep, rasping puffs. He must be stressed. He does seem it. Hey, Nyargh. Hello, Phil. He doesn't even turn my way. Not that I can blame him. He's busy, dealing with a customer on one side, packing up bottles of honey with one set of tentacles, and soothing an agitated bee with 2 others. We take good care of the beavers.
He'd have babies.
The smell of honey in the air is almost dizzying, stirred up by the constant movement of people in the store, and I can't help but take a deep breath before busying myself undoing my bundle. Busy day today, huh?
Sure is.
His tentacles swiftly wrap around a bottle of honey and fabric, then tie a piece of twine into a bow to secure it. I'm getting so much like old style, like little paper and cloth packages tied with bows.
Isn't it cute?
And the whole like classic bento lunch kind of thing of tied up with a string. The
Yes.
visuals are just great in that way. These quaint, adorable little packages with all these monsters, and I love it.
It's really
I'm like
nice.
Miyazaki monsters. Here we go.
Right.
All right. His customer thanks him profusely before leaving with their purchase in hand, babbling excitedly to their friend about how tonight will be a special treat. Seeing everyone happy about their purchases makes it worth it, though. Him stressed, but also love my job. His voice is gruff as ever, but the corners of his lips quirk. I love how it's lips, many multiples of lips, instead of just lips. Just a fraction. He really does seem happy when his customers are happy, and when his bees are happy. I do like this tiny little smile under the big teeth on the top.
That one's really charming.
That little one is very charming.
Well, the thing is, Palm, is that I honestly can't decide. I kind of almost want us to play through bits of it again, just because, like, this game literally doesn't exist on Twitch, for one. So,
and also, it's a very, very quiet game. Like, there's very little about it. What I was kind of thinking of is that I might talk my friend into actually doing this like on the channel but on a different route, like with different choices. I would say, or that we could come back and do some of the other ones.
well, the biggest thing though also with this game though too is like
There's a level of trying to promote the game and
yeah.
letting people have a little bit of mystery about it though.
Yeah, and that's the thing. I still want to support the people, so I don't want to sit here and play the whole thing, but I'm also like, this game seems really unknown, which is kind of unfortunate. It's really interesting.
It is. I'm fascinated by this game, and so maybe not do all the routes. On the other hand, we'll see how it goes. If it's somehow very popular in stream, you never know.
Yeah, you don't
Alright.
actually.
So, also it doesn't have clearly structured routes, so that makes it a little bit harder. Because if the game did have like pick your character route, then it'd be easier to just go that direction and then have things in that route be a mystery,
Right.
than to go the whole game is structured together.
All right.
All right, here we go. His voice is gruff as ever. All right, he really does seem happy when his customers are happy. Seems like it. I hurry to pull a package of salt from my bundle, double checking my notes. I love that we're checking, to make sure I have the right packet for him. Then lay it on the counter. I'd hand it to him, but all of his tentacles are occupied, packaging 2 different orders at the same time. I'll leave this here for you, all right? With how busy the store is, it would probably be best if I don't take up too much of Nyargh's time. I give a little nod and turn to leave when the touch of a tentacle against my shoulder stops me.
Oh.
On the other hand, there also really is the option to sponsor. Like, I know, Palm, that you don't have money and also American credit cards and all that, but if somebody else wanted to sponsor us playing, like, the other pieces of this, we are totally susceptible to that.
Right, because that's another thing to consider as well. Again, part of the reason I'm sort of hesitant is because I don't want to take away from
The creator.
The creator. If we but also like plenty of people have made the argument that this has been really useful sometimes for people to go through. They don't really want to spend all that time waiting for basically Let's Players to go through it all.
Right.
So we possibly could do it. I just don't know. I also know that there's a significant chunk of the game where we already get in trouble weirdly enough a lot. I think
music.
for being a really tiny channel. No, even
for
just
being
for
a tiny channel.
the crap
Yeah,
that we do. And I'm just being like, just in general, I don't see what we do as crap. It's just sort of that level of frustration that you start applying to words of going like, I feel like I'm sort of being treated like garbage. So, so I'm kind of concerned that somebody would go, this is weird as hell and is super inappropriate, which is, I don't know.
We're worried about getting flagged because we keep getting flagged and we're not a big enough platform to ask anyone for help.
There actually are a few Let's Plays on YouTube. That might work out really well.
Then maybe they'll make different choices than us and you can check it out there. But as I say, but since this game also, this is the first time we've touched it, we'll have a while to make decisions about it.
Yeah, we will definitely be looking at it for sure.
All right.
Vil?
He sounds serious. He always sounds a little serious, of course, but this feels different. Yes? There's a pause. Nyargh's tentacles never stop moving, neatly processing and wrapping orders for customers standing on the other side of the counter. But the tentacles resting against my shoulder only squeezes slightly. The tentacle, sorry.
Yeah.
He addresses a customer first, wishing them a nice day as he hands them their package before turning slightly towards me. If you could spare the time, would you mind helping me out a little? I'm a little surprised. Not about the request itself. Any reasonable person would ask for help managing a store this busy. because I've never seen Nyargh ask anyone for help before.
Oh.
On the other hand, we did offer, so he now knows it's an option.
Yes.
Interesting. I can't help feeling a little flattered he'd ask.
That is really nice.
That is cute. There's all these characters have their own unique charm, damn it.
I know.
That said, I need to think this over for a moment. Unfortunately, I don't have much time left today, and I do still have a few more deliveries to make. Reaching back, I test the weight of my bundle with my hands, trying to gauge how much time I would need to deliver all of these before the end of the day. I should be able to hit all the stops on time as long as I hurry, but if I stop here to help Nyargh...
Oh, we're gonna miss this, yeah.
No, I really can't risk getting people their deliveries late, especially on a day before the eclipse. I don't want to risk ruining anyone's preparations for the big day. Oh, we have to miss both of you. Only get to choose one, so it does kind of put you into a route.
Dang.
Sorry, Nyargh, but I'm on a pretty tight schedule today.
That's understandable. You did come in a bit later than you usually do.
Today. There we go. We can read. Yeah, things have been pretty hectic, so I'm a bit behind, and I don't want to be late with anyone's deliveries today. I also want us to be able to come back and help him clean up still. Nyargh nods. His tentacles keep working. I'm really sorry. I wish I could help. I can come around after my route's over if you need any help closing up shop. He shakes his head. His attention already seems to be wandering away from me. Tentacles artfully wrapping up another bottle of honey, even as he speaks.
It's all right. The worst of the rush should be over soon. You should get some rest after your work.
Are you sure? It's no trouble coming by after my route. He nods again.
Thanks for the offer, but it's fine.
I feel like I've put somewhat of a damper on things, but I guess it couldn't be helped. Sometimes things just work out that way. All right then, hopefully things won't be too hard for you. We're nearing the end of the day, after all. I tighten the straps of my bundle to make sure it's firmly in place. It's grown pretty light by now, the fabric weighed down by only a handful of salt packets. But that doesn't mean my remaining deliveries are any less important. Behind me, I can hear a few customers huffing patiently. No doubt they think I'm holding up the line.
Take care!
Most of Nyargh's tentacles are hard at work wrapping up bottles and soothing agitated bees, but he still spares one to give me a small wave. I wave back as I step away from the counter. You too. Good luck. Nyargh doesn't respond anymore, already busying himself tending to the next customer in line. I feel like we did something important, but we also missed two important things, and I'm so torn.
Dang! Well, honestly, also, we're going to be running out of time here soon, actually.
Actually, in just a moment, we're going to have to wrap this up. So let's get out of this shop and we'll go from there.
Yeah.
Nyargh doesn't respond anymore, already busying himself tending to the next customer in line. They want to look at the bees. Nyargh has up for sale. Since they're considering outright buying, they must be big spenders. Nyargh steps out from behind the counter to lead them to the cages. I guess I should go.
Wow.
The crowd outside the store has thinned out a little bit, but it's still sizable. At least those people from earlier who've been gossiping have either gotten into the store or have wandered off, tired of waiting. I gingerly squeeze my way past the waiting line and back into the streets, inhaling deeply. Already the sweet scent of honey is much thinner, cut through with the musty smell of natural air. To the natural air. Okay, so we did this a little bit differently this time because we couldn't actually rent the studio, but I think this worked out okay. We're gonna have to obviously listen to the final product and stuff like that, but the library is closing in 15 minutes, so we are gonna have to get out of here because we have to pack up our gear.
However, actually, so due to the fact of with this particular setup, since this looks like this works fine, I was actually going to say that we will probably be starting earlier.
We would we tend to have an ability to start more at noon.
Well, because we can only do 2 hours apiece between the two
I would
of
say
us.
we can do 4 hours total, and that's the longest we can stream because we're not allowed to rent any more time.
Yeah.
I was to say, but if we did, I still think the half hours deter other people from grabbing the room, though.
That's fine, but we could do like something like 12:30 to basically 4:30. if you wanted to do something like that. 'Cause
Right, and then you wouldn't have to stay up as late, Palm.
Yeah.
What do you think about that?
Yeah. Oh God, I'm glad you guys actually have been having a lot of fun. We're trying to figure out some way to get to do this. It's been really nice on Saturday because it's like nobody shows up in that block at all.
Right.
But yeah, with the other studio being shut down, we just can't do anything with it. So
That's true.
Oh.
that's our warning.
yeah, there's our warning light. All right, so
we gotta go. All right, so we are gonna wrap this up. Feel free to contact us on other platforms if you so desire. And
yes.
in the meantime,
Thank you very much, guys, though, for joining us. If you like what we do, please feel free to like, comment, subscribe, and also share our videos. If you're having a good time with us, please also feel free to go check out our Ko-Fi or our Patreon. We got some links in the description down below. And I have been Scandal.
and if you're watching this, our Twitch connection is linked down below, and we do stream every single Saturday. So come and check us out. And I have been Liz, and it was great playing with you. Bye.